Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. It's a beautiful sunny day out. Hope it stays that way. The weekend was off and on rain, but hopefully your weekend was nice. Mine was quite busy, but that's all right. That's kind of normal. I finished up my last cycle of teaching up in the big city to the north. Won't have to get back to that until November. Nice. But nevertheless, it's a Sunday for you, Monday morning for me, of course. And yeah, it is an interesting week. There's a lot of things to talk about. I was actually investigating with for Drone and Quarter last week. We covered we flopped from doing Fantastic Four to doing in memorial to all the people that died last week because it was there were a lot of obituaries. But I went and researched for that and went and checked. There's been 60 celebrities die this year. And I don't mean people that it's actually 62, I think, die this year. And it's not nobody's. Like if you go look at those who's died this month type of thing, a lot of times it's people you never heard of. That doesn't mean they're not important for whatever genre they're doing. These are people you know. And I think what's happening is um, it's that 90s generation that are just kind of passing away this year. A lot of old Hollywood people. And of course, we've had a couple others as well. Namely, of course, Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan are two big names that we lost last week, both of them in their 70s. I do believe Ozzy being 76 and Hulk Hogan being 71. We'll talk about that a little bit here. But we have lost a lot this month, this year. It's been a pretty heavy loss if you care about celebrity stuff, which we do, obviously, because this is what we talk about here. Hello, Roger. How you doing? I'm going to go over here and hit that like and share button, let everybody know what we're doing. But yeah, it's a little bit sad. There's a bunch of names of people that haven't seen in a while because they've gotten real old, but well, safe journeys, of course. Let me go ahead here and share on the Twitter. I only hit Twitter a couple times a week by doing these shares, and I do, of course, join recorded. I see it a little bit, but it's chaotic. It's very very chaotic. So I'm always looking for on the drone recorder for cute stuff, but that's hard. I usually have to search it, which is a shame. I didn't have to used to do that. But anyway, we are going to be getting into a lot of that kind of stuff today. We'll be talking about movies, of course, and a little bit of a surprising one. One of the things that I think took everyone by surprise, well, I guess we shouldn't have been, is it turns out that the Fantastic Four movie, which we'll talk about a little bit today, is normal and not bad. Now, it's sad that I have to report that, right? But it's a normal movie, and once again, just like with Dungeons and Dragons and other films, they came out, they promoted the hate intentionally. This is hate marketing, is what they've been doing for a while. They talked about all the wokey things that are in their movie. They really pushed it with the actors, and of course, with releasing information, oh, it's got this and that, and the thing is gay, and et cetera, et cetera. And of course, it turns out no, it's just the Fantastic Four. Nothing at all. Nothing to see here. They did gender swap the Silver Surfer, but that's about it. And they try to make an excuse with that. That oh, we're using the other one. Well, no, it's the first appearance of Galactus on Earth. It should be, uh, you know, the original Silver Surfer. But whatever. Other than that, everything is super normal. And I guess the question that comes up in regards to that is why? Does it work? I'm sure they've not gained as much money as they could have. Because if it was getting hyped up, like, oh, we finally got a good movie, you'd had a lot more people in the theater. It did okay, But it wasn't like some barn buster. And like I said, it's a normal movie. I haven't seen it, but from all the reviews, it's fine. It's not a perfect, oh my God, greatest movie ever, but very, very, very few movies are. It looks good, everyone says, and it's just fine, and it's not woke at all. It's just the Fantastic Four. So the question is, why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep lying about their film, saying, "Oh, it's super ultra woke," which we all know we have a decade or over a decade of data. We know the wokies don't spend money, right? We know that this wokeness is hurting them financially. We know this. Um, it's well documented. This isn't my opinion. They certainly hurt their box office weekend opening, and we'll take a look at that later, of course. But they could have had a lot more. So, I mean, why do they keep doing this? Um, you know, What do I mean by normal movie? Meaning it's just the Fantastic Four is what I mean, Roger. Reed Richards is Reed Richards. He's in charge. The Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, or Sue Richards, is very supportive of her husband and her entire team. She's the mom. Johnny is Johnny Storm. He loves the girls. The Thing is the heart of the team, of course, and he is. Although he and Johnny don't get the amount of screen time as Reed and Sue, which is fine because it is a lot about them, and of course they have a kid coming, and of course they're dealing with Galactus. It's just normal Fantastic Four, Roger. There's nothing weird about it. And it's fine. Everybody, all the reviewers I like are like, yeah, it's normal and it's fine. I would have loved to get a 10 out of 10 Fantastic Four movie, but I mean, those things happen. This lightning in a bottle, baby. That doesn't happen very much. But I just my curiosity is why do they keep this hate marketing ongoing? Because I don't see where they're benefiting from it because they're certainly losing money. They are. Now this movie, because everyone's kind of surprised, oh, it's normal and fine. This might have a little bit of legs. I mean, there's not like there's anything interesting coming, really. It's basically Fantastic Four and Superman slugging it out, I guess. And we'll take a look at those numbers in the end and see how they're doing on that. I can tell you, as of right now, it's not what we're used to seeing from big summer blockbusters. But people are not going to the cinema as much, so I'm told. But then all of a sudden, we'll have $1 billion movie pop up, just boom, out of nowhere. So it's like, well, people can go to the movie theaters. They're capable of it. We still have in America, it looks like around 44 to 4,600 theaters, and that number that I keep seeing show up hasn't seemed to change. So we haven't lost mass amounts of theaters, it seems. I don't know. I know we've lost a lot of malls. It's actually one of the kind of creepier little YouTube dives you can do. Abandoned malls. There are a lot of those, lots of those. And it is creepy because, keep in mind, building a structure is expensive, but tearing it down is also expensive, right? And sometimes prohibitive, especially if you have something that's gone bankrupt. Or where's the money to tear it down? That's why you have so many derelict things just laying around. Roger says, but they have the Thing in a suit. The Thing never wears is never in a suit, I guess you mean. And the Thing had a more adult kind of manly attitude. I haven't seen it, which is in this movie he does not. Kirby gave him something something. Yeah, no, it's not perfect. No one, I haven't seen it. Most of the reviewers are giving it around a six, 5.5 and a 6. So I said it's normal. I haven't heard anybody said, "Oh my God, this is the greatest Fantastic Four thing ever." Matter of fact, I've heard some people that say that some things are a little better in this movie, but they still prefer the original one back in the what was it, 90s, early aughts. And I, like I said, when I'm going to see it, this movie, and when I do, I'll be able to judge it myself. But it's just normal, is the point they're making. It's not super wokey as they tend to do with stuff. None of the adventurous outlook, despite their powers. Yeah, I haven't seen it, Roger. Like I said, no one is saying it's perfect. They're just surprised because all the hype building up to it was this is super woke. And keep in mind that hype, excuse me, that hype was coming out of the studio itself. This wasn't people sitting out there just speculating on something they had no idea about. They were reacting to things that were coming out of the studio and from the actors and stuff like that. So, and we know the NDAs they're under. So, those people coming out and speaking like that, they're doing what they were told to do. Now, you might get the occasional Rachel Zegler who's obviously out of control and doesn't listen to what she's told, and that's why Disney kicked her out because she didn't do what they told her to do. But most of them do exactly what they're told. They're professionals, and you have people like what is his name? Vanessa Kirby is playing Sue Richards, and Pedro Pascal. Now Pedro is a professional, and he's been doing movies a very long time. So I mean, he's clearly acceptable by the studio. So I just don't know why they keep up with it. Is my point. However, the Pedro fatigue is a real thing, and it doesn't help that he does creepy stuff on often. Matter of fact, there is something that just happened last week where he was with Vanessa Kirby, and they were just a red carpet event, maybe at the Chinese theater there in Hollywood, maybe. I don't know where it was. But anyway, normal, right? The red carpet event. And we've seen him do this before. He's always touching. He's always touching, and the girls are always having to control where his hands are touching. You can see he does this often. Now they say he has a nervous anxiety thingy. And I'm like, why? You're like a gigantic movie star with millions and millions and millions of dollars. Where's this anxiety coming from? Although there has been a lot of Pedro Pascal fatigue. Maybe it's part of that. But he caused it, though. It's not because we're seeing too much of him. No, it's because he gets up and gives his opinion. And a lot of people don't like it. But yeah, no, that's okay, Roger. Like I said, I'm going to go check it out and see it myself. The only comment I'm making, as I was killing time for Thundera to show up, which I did
Hi.
professionally, I have to say,
Yeah,
is that it looks like the Four movie is normal
interesting.
and not bad. I mean, that's it.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Huh.
I mean, we talked about this.
Almost
Yeah.
like Chester,
You know.
I was right, and we've won. Disney's still reluctant. They're still reluctant to admit. See, this is why the marketing is the way it is, because as
Yes.
soon as they change the marketing, that means they have to admit that they've lost. You understand? Because the marketing isn't the product. The marketing is just, to get attention. But if they start changing the marketing to be normal again, like American Eagle has, right? They
I'm going
picked
to get
Sydney
to that.
Sweeney to do their
Don't
new
blow it
ad.
out.
Yeah.
But
That's the final admission, because the truth of the matter is, aside from coming from the top at the like the Bilderbergers and those guys, the way that this stuff was implemented started in the marketing departments and then into the HR departments. They were convinced. Wow, I am covered in ink. They were
good.
convinced that yeah, they were convinced by marketing research, that old chestnut that they use nowadays, that they had to do this in order to chase profitability. The only way you were going to make money, that modern audience thing, they had data to back this up. The problem is the data is a lie. It was never true. It was always a lie. That's why these things don't make money. It's not even necessarily the market's tired of it. It's that, name one of these projects that was overt with it that ever made a ton of money. It's very few and far
That's what I
between.
mean. Yeah, well, Barbie probably only. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even think it was super
It
overt
wasn't.
because
It wasn't.
for most of the women, it was just a Barbie movie,
Yeah.
right? That for most that was all it was.
Well,
Like my
secretly
wife
it
went and
was
saw it. That's why.
a propaganda Ken movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Um, but my point is, I think what we've seen now, or what we're seeing, is their concession is real, because they
Yeah.
could have made that movie anything they wanted, like they've
Sure.
been doing. The Marvel movies they've been just atrocious
Yeah.
by
My
and
God.
large.
Yeah.
Um, and they didn't. And the fact that they didn't, now they could do the old switch up where they make a first movie that's normal and then the second, third movie
Yeah.
gets weird.
They do
They
that.
could do that, but I
Third
don't think they're
episode,
going
right?
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I think it's over. I think
Yeah.
that era is
Yeah.
done, and we're gonna move into an era where you're
You
still
know,
gonna have it. They're still gonna pay lip service to it, but it's not gonna be like it was at all. It's just done.
no, and that's fine. Hollywood has always done the latter of what you said. They've always
Yes.
done that, and no one, everyone's like, "Ah, okay, you roll your eyes and you don't care." It's the
Right.
full court press that pisses people off. Actually, that's not even what pisses people off, because simple fact of the matter, this is I've said this many times. This is their IP. They can do whatever the hell they want with it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And it's my money, and I can do whatever the hell I want with my money, right?
That's right.
The problem is them turning around and then they saying the movie's not for you, and then blaming you that you didn't go see the movie. That's the
That's right.
issue. That's the issue.
The unbelievable audacity,
Yes, the
just
entitlement. Yeah,
audacity of at a level that we haven't seen since actual aristocracy was ruling the world.
right.
Like, it's insane that this is why the aristocracy was tore down all over the world. Truth of the matter is, an aristocratic elite that is actually noble and cares for their people like they're supposed to is probably the best way for a society to function.
Sure.
The issue becomes, though, is what happens when they stop being that, and that's what happened with
Right.
most of the
That
aristocracy.
always
It,
happens. It's an up and down
yeah,
thing. Yeah, but no, and
yes,
of course we're still living in the repercussions of that because they desperately
yes,
want it back. That's what
yes,
we're
and the
dealing
people who
with.
want it back are the bad guys, not the
They
good
are.
guys.
They are.
Yeah,
But anyway, that's a side mission. Um,
yes,
but the my point being with the Fantastic Four is it's normal. Like I said, most of the people I've seen are giving it a 5.5, 6. So it's a normal flick. It's other than the gender swap on Silver Surfer, and they say actually it works out just fine. Um, it's fine. And
yeah.
there's a couple things they liked about it. Pedro, that a lot of I've even heard the critical drinker said Pedro was a pretty good Reed Richards. So and we know he
Yeah.
can act. We know Pedro can act. I mean,
Here's the problem with Pedro is the hype around him and his antics.
well,
He's
yeah,
just a normal Hollywood closeted homosexual. That's what he
well, I
is.
don't know
It's
if
been
he's
happening since
closeted. I think
always.
he's pretty much out there.
Nah, he hasn't said he is. He behaves as such, but he's never actually
I just
declared, to
assumed.
my knowledge, he's never declared it. Maybe he has, and I'm just wrong. But regardless, he's just your normal Hollywood poof, and that's we've been dealing with those since
Yeah, but
always. Like,
I mean,
that's
well,
always been Hollywood.
true, but he licks light stick dicks.
He does. He also fondles women
Yeah,
very
I
publicly,
covered
including
that.
married women, which is odd
It
behavior.
is
I
weird. They
don't.
say he's got an anxiety thing, but
Uh-huh.
whatever.
So do I. That's
Yeah,
that's gonna be my. Oh, I'm
can
sorry.
that?
I get
Oh,
anxious.
dude, I missed that. You're right. Let me write that down. I have anxiety. Boobs, boobs,
Sorry, I have
butt,
anxiety. Just
boobs,
grabbing their
boobs.
boobs.
Yeah. Uh, what was that movie that Jeffrey Rush played a crazy piano kid, piano guy? What was that movie? What was that movie? You know the one, right?
um.
Because he has that
Yes, but I
issue
can't remember the
too.
name of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun movie though. That was he did a good. Jeffrey Rush is a good actor. But anyway, that's all I was doing. It was just killing time with Fantastic Four. But it's yeah. I mean, I'm glad that it's just a normal movie. I wish it were a normal movie and oh my god, it's an 8, right?
Yeah.
That would have been even cooler. But it's a start. Uh, what is that? Boob Tourette's. Yeah, no, Eric, I'm all up for it. I'll sign up for boob Tourette's. No problem. Although my wife might not like that very much. But so we have that. Now there's another thing though, since we're on this subject and we're talking about the MCU. We know they're in trouble. We know they have a lot of trouble. You have Donald Trump and his full court press that's going on, and I mean, when Trump can be bombastic and he can,
A little
exaggerate.
annoying sometimes.
Sometimes he exaggerates a lot. But way back when, you remember he said, "We're going to win so much that you're going to say, 'Please, Mr. Trump, stop winning.'" You remember that,
Yep. Yep.
right? I mean, I was like, "Oh, okay, Trump. Okay, good job." Dude, what the fuck, man?
What happened?
Well, no, because he is winning in just
Yeah.
constantly.
Everything he tries.
It's
We
insane, dude. You would have
just so what
figured
we're
there had been
witnessing.
some stumbling blocks.
See,
I
throughout
guess,
history, we've seen these things, right? We've seen where there's just these men who they just win,
yeah.
right? We talk about Augustus, talk about Napoleon, talk about Hitler until he lost.
No,
They
he
just
won for a long
continuously,
time. Yeah.
yeah, they just continuously seem to get their way, no matter what. Even other insurmountable odds or what should be, they just keep winning. Uh, I think Trump might just be that guy. He's the
Yeah.
main character
Well, he's
of
won his whole life,
2025.
I guess. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But I'm not complaining about it. I'm just like, wow. But and my point was with this. Um, the midterms are what, a year and a half away, less than a year and a half
correct,
away.
correct.
And uh, you know, the projections as we're looking at is the that the Republicans will pick up 2 to 6 seats in the Senate. They'll be
Yep.
sitting around 54 to 58. And in the House, there are some projections saying they could win up to 100 seats. Now, I
We'll
think
see.
that's a bit extreme.
Yep.
But nevertheless, they're going to hold what they have. And unless there's just the most unbelievable, tragic, corrupting event, you're going to get President J.D. Vance. Is what you're going to get.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's pretty much unstoppable unless Trump does something real stupid.
right.
Real stupid.
And once again, unless JD does something really stupid, the trend
Or
is
yeah.
to get 2 terms. So you're looking at 12 years of true Republican rule. Um, and I'm okay with that.
It'd be nice.
Yeah,
It'd be
we
pretty
need it.
nice.
It's been the Democrats have been kind of, and of course
Well, we
everyone's going,
need
well,
it.
George Bush. No, he was a rhino. Stop, knock it off. Knock it
He
off.
would, yeah, yeah. We need it as long as that what you just said doesn't happen. We need it as long as we don't have these sorts of Republicans who do a Reagan and provide
JD's not.
amnesty no, he's not.
No,
Hopefully, anyway, unless he's doing
no,
the old
he's not.
switcheroo on us here. Uh, but no,
No,
I don't
he's
think he
more
is.
conservative than Trump, dude.
Like I like I said, I am JD Vance. The only real difference is we made different choices when we were young men. I grew up like him. I grew up a very similar situation as him
Yeah,
with a drug addict father. His was a mother. I understand JD Vance on a deep spiritual level. I do. Even the
yeah,
same state,
sure.
rural Ohio. So I get it. I don't think he's phony. I did at first, but then I found out more
Yep,
about him,
so did I.
and he's the only one
Oh, he
who's
turned it
been
around, dude.
consistent.
He turned it
He's been
around.
very consistent.
A lot of people
Um,
were skeptical of him. He turned that
yeah,
shit around. And I hope he was nowhere near Cleveland because Cleveland is sitting up there on one of them Great Lakes, right?
yeah.
And I've been told, don't go there.
No, Cleveland's fine as long as you stay in the touristy
Like a
areas because
100-yard square block
yeah,
area.
yeah, you got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. That's pretty cool.
You know,
That's a pretty good
yeah.
time. Uh, no, there's
Yeah.
parts of Cleveland that are actually really nice. I just can't stand the city other than a few areas
Yeah.
where they got cool shit like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But no, he's from southeastern Ohio, I believe.
Well, I was the other day. I think it was Sunday night, or maybe it was Saturday night. And either way, I was doing. I always, when I'm working, I'm always got some historical documentary or science thing on that I'm listening to, and it was a complete breakdown of
Yep.
all the major cities in America. I think there was 150 of them, and it was a breakdown of why those cities are there how they were founded, and how are they doing. Right? It was a complete breakdown historically of that, which that's pretty cool to me because every city on the planet that is, well, there's a few outliers, I'm sure, is there because of trade, right? It's always trade, right? You're on a
Yes.
hub somehow, or you're a terminus of something. Of course, terminus is a really nice term because keep in mind we have a major American city today, which we call Atlanta, but its original name was just, terminus,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So that's always a fact. But what is it that allows them to be a trade city, and how do they come to be, and how they get their name? And I just really enjoyed that. But the later part of that documentary, that was how are they doing now? Woof, woof, dude. The freaking black. Let me rephrase that. The ghetto invasion of so many of these major cities is insane how badly it's destroyed them, dude.
Yes.
It's insane. You know what the saddest one is? Our buddy
Tell me.
Eric knows because he lives in it. St. Louis, dude.
St. Louis is pretty rough. St. Louis is
Dude,
pretty
that
rough.
is a sad ass story. You know what a wonderful, beautiful place that was for so long?
Chester, Detroit was.
Yeah, but
Before either of us were born,
yeah,
Detroit was one of the gems of the world
yeah, but
as a city.
that was an economic collapse. It's a bit
Well,
different.
it was both. It was a tag team effort because they've had, I don't know, 80 years of democratic control, and they did what they do. They started stealing everybody's money, and and then you also had betrayal from the very top of the car manufacturers and the Rust Belt in general. There was just no way it was going to survive. Plus, there was a mass migration of poor rural Southerners of all colors
Right, right,
to
right.
Detroit in this area because this is where the jobs were. All the factories were running, factory work, especially back in the day. That was some good ass money getting there at the auto worker.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so they came up here, and they might have been fine, but maybe their kids weren't. You know what I mean? Maybe the next generation not so much. Um, and it's just that rot just set
Yeah.
in Detroit. I trust me, I know I'm real close to Detroit. I'm only about 45 minutes an hour
Sure.
from Detroit.
It's up there on the lake, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, all the lake cities are just not.
It's a
I shouldn't say
shame.
all of them, but all the
No,
major
most of
ones
them are doing pretty
are
bad.
a bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the interesting one in that regard to this conversation would be Chicago, because
Hmm.
what happened, a lot of people have a misunderstanding that after the Civil War, so many of the freed slaves just went north. That's not actually true. What happened is a lot of them stayed exactly where they were, and they just started up a sharecropping system. Right? It wasn't really until 1896 where that Ferguson ruling came in, and of course Jim Crow was put in place by the Democrats, of course, um, that you saw so many blacks fleeing to the north, toward northerly. And at that
Right.
time, there was a lot of stuff in the newspapers and on the radio talking about the growth of Chicago, and there was just a lot of hype on Chicago at that particular moment in time, and all the Southern blacks, sharecroppers mostly, they were like, "Hey, Chicago!" And boom, mass migration. And of course, when we had the last mass migration, would you like to guess when that was?
Tell me.
Barack Obama.
Makes sense.
Barack Obama literally moved black communities into white communities because, quote, they are not diverse enough.
Yes.
Thank you for judging us, Mr. Obama. Yeah, I appreciate it. Which we're going to get into that kind of nonsense right now. Because I'm going to quantify this by saying people are stupid. Okay? Now, if you have a problem with that, tough titties.
Mad about it.
Well, I'm just saying. Now, let's take a look here. We have a girl. Her name is Sydney Sweeney. Now,
Good old Sydney Sweeney.
she's not mega hot at all. She's kind of
No, she's not.
small. She's not that
She's a
pretty.
mid.
She
She's a
is,
mid.
but she's fine. I had no problem with her. This, if I was a
No,
single
I
boy
mean,
around her, I'd chase her.
I wouldn't
But
kick her out of bed.
no, 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 no. I'm not knocking on her, but she is a telltale of what we've had to deal with because we've been getting
Yes.
people who were hired because they were unattractive, like the Pew girl who plays the new Black Widow. I have nothing against
Yeah.
the girl; she seems to be doing her thing, but she was hired because she's unattractive. I don't know how she feels about that. But one of the things, of course, about Sydney here is the boob Tourette's. You know, she is fairly well endowed, although she's a bit sloppy. But anyway, that's not the point. Here we have this girl, very dark eyed, although if you get close up things, I guess her eyes are technically blue. But I don't think she's a natural blonde. Matter of fact, I'd say she's probably a brunette. But it doesn't, none of that matters. Well, it does matter, though, because people are stupid.
Yeah.
American Eagle is a company which I've never bought a product from because they didn't exist when I was in the States. And I do recall during the whole COVID stuff, I
No,
saw
they did.
commercials.
They were
Now,
just only in J.C. Penney at that
oh,
time.
okay. I'd never heard of them. But
Yeah.
I do recall during COVID, however, seeing American Eagle commercials, and they had a lot of colored, diverse girls, a lot of fatty girls, big old
Yeah.
chunky girls, in
Yeah.
their product. Okay, whatever. I mean, big girls and black girls and yellow girls and all kind of girls need jeans too.
Yes.
I have no problem with that. But then they decided to do this marketing, and I'm going to show you how stupid this is because the marketing on this girl, and I've seen the commercial. She knows how to pour the syrup on, dude. She know how,
Yeah. That's her
and
whole brand.
yeah, but I think girls are kind of born with that. You ever seen a girl, just a
Well,
normal girl, and then she turns it on and like, what the fuck, dude? It's like criminal.
you it's weird because every one of us normal people knows that a woman can do that, but then a
Yeah,
lot of women can't do it. You know, like it's not that they can't. They know what they're supposed to do. It's that they get mental blocks, right? They get insecure or
yeah,
whatever, and they just can't turn. They can't flip the
yeah.
switch. It's
Like
kind of like,
Japanese girls. That's true.
yeah, yeah, they can't flip the
Yeah, they
switch. It's like
can't. They're
just
not
flip the
good at
switch,
it.
baby. Come on,
Yeah.
come on.
But Alan says she's wearing Canadian formal wear. She is.
Canadian tuxedo.
Um, yeah, no, that's right, Eric. St. Louis was like I said, I watched the documentary. It was a model city, beautiful city, and it's a shame, dude. Anyway, back to this. Now, the reason why I say people are stupid, which isn't much of a stretch, is she's doing this commercial, and this commercial she's doing for American Eagle is. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now they're also joking about the fact that she's an attractive girl, therefore her genes, with a G, her
Mhm.
genetics are good. It's just a little joke because she's a pretty girl with big boobies. Okay, I get it. It's a kind of one of those lame commercial jokes that kind of works. I get the idea. It's fine. However, this has created outrage. Outrage,
Outrage!
particularly amongst the black folks. They're
Because they're
really
perpetually
upset.
outraged because they're incredibly fragile people.
Well, it seems now that this little joke that American Eagle has done here with these Sydney Sweeney commercials is eugenics. Okay, all right then.
Yeah. Mhm.
Nazis, got that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The racisms, we got that. We got that. And of course, male gaze, which it is that. And there's a lot of larger,
No, no. Here's the thing.
T app
It
girls who
isn't.
are upset about that.
It isn't. It's everybody gays. Women like hot women too.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
like to
know,
look
but
at
you
them.
know what I
They
mean.
like to look at them in
Yeah.
modeling. Like it's not men who read modeling catalogs.
No,
It
it's
isn't.
women.
We don't.
Yeah.
It's
We
women.
don't care. These, a matter of fact, it's from all the commercials I've seen for American Eagle, it's a woman brand. It has
It's a
two.
little bit of both, but I think it's mostly female. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
heavily
I mean,
female.
I've only seen female ads. But anyway, and here's the reason why they're so incredibly stupid. By getting mad about this and the way they're getting mad about it, you're saying by the accusations they're making, and I just told you what they are, what you're saying is that black people can't have good genetics at all.
Apparently, yeah. There's no such thing as attractive black
When
people. They don't exist.
yeah, it's weird when Herschel Walker exists,
Yeah, a literal
Michael
freak of nature.
Jordan, a thing. Really weird that. But it's like the same thing. Or I've seen a bunch of, and these are ghetto people. We know this ghetto mind. Um, but we've seen same people say that if you go to school, black people, right? If you're a black person, you go to school and you study hard, you're being an Uncle Tom. You're trying to be like
Yeah,
the white people. So like you're
trying
saying,
to be white.
okay, only white people can be smart? Is that what you're saying? It's the same nonsense. It's the same
Yeah,
stupidity. This is making a joke about a pretty girl, dude. But yet they're all upset about it, and they're literally putting their foot in their mouth. One, they're showing their incredible amount of racism, but they're also basically saying that black people can't be genetically superior to others, which we know that's not true.
correct.
Genetics doesn't care about your particular ethnicity, buddy, or your culture. DNA could care less if you're a Christian or a Muslim or not. Doesn't care. It shines on some of us and not on others. And to be fair, if you really want the geneticist in me to step up, because I am one, you know,
Mhm.
none of us are actually have good genetics. Not even Michael Jordan has good genetics. None of them do, right? Because the human gene pool is absolutely trashed. Trashed. They're the
Yeah,
best human that ever lived, the most capable, intelligent, physically, superior human that's ever lived is nowhere near the average, say, cougar or elephant,
right.
because the animal kingdom doesn't have the code eras we have. We have over 4,000 code eras that could pop up in any child born at any moment. Humans are not genetically pure or clean at all. We're a hot mess, dude. We're literally a hot mess. You know what we look like? We look like something that's been genetically manipulated, and no one
Oh,
get and the manipulator didn't give a shit. They were just looking for results. That's what the human genome looks like. You go look at a freaking tiger; they're pristine, perfect image of perfection.
yeah.
So first, so for just to be technical, and the reason I keep using Michael Jordan is because not only is he crazy athletic, he is a highly intelligent man, capable man, and the ladies seem to think he's pretty handsome. So he's kind of check everywhere, isn't he?
Mm.
I'd say that's a genetic superiority, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Anyway, and it's funny because with this girl, Sydney Sweeney, she ain't even that anyway. The, but whatever. Who cares about that? But boy, howdy, dude, they're upset, man. The racism is just rampant, dude, rampant.
Yes.
That's my opinion. You can have your say on it, whatever you like.
That's really all it is. It's just naked racial animus
It is.
because she dares to be a semi-attractive white woman. Um, but what really makes, like you said, what actually makes her more attractive is she's fine with her attractiveness. She's fine with her sexuality.
Yeah, normal.
She's not. Yeah, she no, she's even further. Like she's very flirty. Most women aren't. Women don't know how to flirt. Most of them. They think they do. Every one of them thinks they do, but they don't. Um, she's just that type of girl, and that's helps her. It helps her in her career. I mean, it's why she
It
got
does.
this gig. Uh, but these people are so ghoulish, not just even to look at. Many of them are that too, but just as people in their heart. That somebody who brings light into the world, which is when a woman's a little bit flirty, not too much, but a little bit like that, it's a great thing for everybody. Everybody around. The men are happier. She's happier because she's getting validated. Um,
Sure.
the men are getting attention, right, from a cute girl, or at least they can think they are, and that makes the world a better place. Chester, I told a lady recently 'cause she's not like this, but she's very much pro man. This lady I know, and I told her, if every woman loved men like you do, the world would be a much better place. But
Sure.
they don't.
Sure.
Most of them hate men.
Yeah.
hate them.
No, that's true. That is a big problem in the West. It is a current the invasion of feminism. But I
Yeah.
have heard this girl speak, and it's not
Hmm.
impressive.
No,
But this is a Gucci bag girl. Give me the brand names, and I don't understand why people don't understand. All these brand names were created for poor people.
that's correct. And they're all made in the same factories somewhere
In
in China, usually,
Bangladesh or
or Bangladesh.
Indonesia.
Yeah,
Yeah. Most of them are made in Southeast Asia, not in China. But
that's
nevertheless,
true.
you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, but see, this is a Gucci girl, so I guarantee you, her first thing to do is lay out with a black guy. I guarantee you, this girl is surrounded by black dick.
Yep.
So I'm like, uh, what do you? I mean, maybe that's what the black ladies are complaining about, because there were a couple black dudes who were bitching too, but most of them were black ladies, and they also seem to be rather hefty.
Yeah. Well, that's also it.
Maybe
It's
there's
just
a
pure
trend there.
intrasexual jealousy.
Yeah.
Um, she gets male attention. She doesn't even have to try hard for it. Of the men that they would like, right? Whether they're black or not, just good looking men. Uh, even normal men. And they can't stand that, you see. So a woman who does that, they have to destroy. That's how these people think. Um, and then they have the audacity to wrap it in some form of feminist cause while they're out
Yeah.
here trying to destroy the career of a young woman who did nothing wrong except be a little bit pretty and not be ashamed of it. Oh, you monster. You bitch, you.
Well,
You
for the
miserable bitch.
for the current moment in time, she is quite attractive from what we see. She
Well,
is.
from what they present, but
Yeah.
Chester, I'm telling you right now, there's this girl who works at Sam's Club in the food counter, behind the food counter, who's 3 times hotter than her.
Hmm.
Easily. She's beautiful. She's this tall brunette. She's
Oh,
beautiful.
I'm
And I'm
well
like, what
aware.
are you working here? Why
And
are you working here, darling? What are
yeah,
you doing?
and Hollywood has shown them to us in the past. It's just been a while, and I really don't want to knock on this girl. She's fine looking, and she's happy. She's into herself, and
Yep.
she's having success. Good for you, girl. This isn't about her. I just this thing popped up in my I saw it in the YouTube, and I was like, "Damn, dude!" I mean, goodness gracious, these self owns coming out of these idiots is impressive. It really, really is. Yeah, Alan, that's the kind of current trend to the story, I suppose, whatever it was. But yeah, the human DNA. I just was making a point of how messed up our DNA is, because it is atrocious. It is really bad.
Yep.
Nevertheless, if you're a lady and you like yourself some, I mean, I don't know, normal freaking jeans, I guess. I have a pair. No, I have two. I have another pair that I've had for over 30 years. They still fit, by the way.
Still fit fine, huh?
Yeah, well, I lost all that weight, so they fit
Yeah,
again.
that
Let's
helps.
say that.
That
But
helps.
those I haven't worn in probably a decade. But I do have a pair of jeans. One, Levi
Mhm.
Strauss. Do
Yeah,
you
that's
have
usually what I
jeans?
get is Levi's. I
Yeah.
usually get Levi's, or I'll go if I just want a cheap pair to do shit in, like stuff I don't like outside work or whatever.
American Eagle?
Uh, no, I'll go to Walmart and buy some cheap
Oh,
Wranglers because they're cheap. They're like maybe $20 for a pair of jeans. Not
right.
even
No, work
exactly.
pants. No, I just buy
Yeah,
cargo pants for that.
yeah,
Yeah, my
or
work
those,
pants are
or I'll get
cargo
those.
pants
Those
too.
are hard to find nowadays in
Really?
America. Cargos. Yeah, they don't really. They're just super out of fashion over here. Um, so
Hmm.
yeah, but you can always find jeans, of course.
Right. Well, yeah, I just don't wear jeans anymore. I mean, when I was younger, I did. I very rarely wear jeans. But then again, the thing about jeans, though, if you buy a pair of Levi Strauss,
Yep.
you'll have them for your whole life. I mean,
Yeah.
they are well made. I mean, they do cost a couple $100 to buy a
I have
pair.
a I have a I'm pretty sure I have a pair of Levi's jeans, but I also have a Levi jean jacket like she's wearing right there. Well, that's not Levi, but I have a jacket similar to that. I have one very similar to that, and then I also have my winter coat is a denim Levi
You've been
coat.
infected by the Canadians, I see.
Well, it's just the best. Like there's aside from actually having straight up leather, which
Yeah,
I do
I
have
wear
some of those
leather.
too. I just
Yeah.
don't. I do have one of those too. But I only wear it when I'm going somewhere nice because I don't
Mhm.
want it to get, messed up. Uh, but yeah, my denim one with the nice, the nice white fur collar or whatever. That's not fur, but it's, you know what it is.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Wool.
yeah, it's super comfortable. It's super. I usually have to take it off even in the winter. I get hot. It's so warm.
Yeah.
Or I'll just wear just a t-shirt under it because I just get so hot.
Yeah, I haven't worn something like that since the early '80s. But I don't have tons of clothing anyway. I mean, I have, the correct amount of clothing. But I do have a few suits, of course. And actually, it's kind of interesting with my suits. I have two linen suits. I have a cotton suit, which is the oldest one, and I don't wear that much. The linen's pretty nice. You ever wear linen before? I like linen. But
Linen
anyway,
is super super breathy. It gives you a
it
lot of
is
air.
nice. I like linen. But I also have, I guess the cotton one would be better in winter, but they just don't have winter here. And my last one is actually a silk suit, 100% silk, all pieces. It's a three piece. And have you ever worn a silk something?
Yes, I used to wear silk shirts pretty much exclusively in my early 20s.
Yeah. Uh,
Like
uh,
if I was going to church or
it's
whatever, I would
it's
wear a
kind of
silk shirt.
it's kind of nice.
Oh, it feels so good. And I
Kind of
had silk
nice.
sheets, but my wife didn't like them, so I got rid of them.
Real
Uh,
what?
she didn't like them. I don't know. She did. She said they were uncomfortable. I was like, "You're out of your mind. They feel amazing."
They do. Did you resort to satin?
No, we just have. I think we have high count cotton now.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, I
Which
had
is fine.
satin for a while. We had some satin for a while. The problem with those satin is it gets scratched up, especially if you have cats or whatever. Their nails will scratch it up.
What are you talking about, Eric? He said he's never had a pair of Levi last longer than a year. Dude, I think those are called Lee or Wrangler. Yeah.
Or maybe he's just hard on them. Maybe he's out here
No,
doing work.
dude,
He's putting in work.
a proper pair of Levi's, dude, will last a lifetime, dude.
Well,
They
there's
really
2
will.
they have a cheaper version of Levi now too.
Oh, well, okay, maybe. I don't know. They don't sell that
Yeah,
here. I mean, I spent, well, Neiman for my jeans, $200. So like
yeah.
150, $160. How much do Levi's cost off the rack in America?
That's a good question. Let's see. Because you can get them at even some at department stores. They sell them at Meijer now, but it's their cheaper version.
Well, if you got larger and gained weight, Alan, then oh, that makes sense. I've had jeans before that have been thrown away because I got fat and then I got skinny. You know, well, kind of skinny.
Let's
So,
see.
but then again, here in Japan, it wouldn't shock me if because Japanese only want quality. They're real noisy about it.
Which is, smart of them, to be honest.
Sure. I mean, how many clothes do you need? I mean, really?
Well, if you're a Western woman, you need whole closets full.
I guess.
Just ask them; they'll tell you. You can get some 501s depending on where you get them from. It varies wildly. So around 60, 50, 60 bucks for those. Um, but the ones you're talking about, they still sell those for like 2 or 300.
Yeah. 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 That's the ones I'm talking about. Those things, the quality is amazing. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, you don't need. If you're a woman, you're always looking at coordinating colors and fashion and stuff. Okay, fine. But if you're a dude, you don't need lots of clothing. Therefore, spend your money on good quality stuff. I mean,
Yep.
don't go buy. I mean, if you're gonna need some houseware or some workwear, we all get that. But for your normal stuff, how many shirts do you need? Why you can go spend 150 to 300 bucks on a single shirt. Why not? You don't need that many. That's my
Mhm.
point. I mean, my clothing I have is all quality based. Not I have no brand names at all, right? Well, no,
Right.
there's probably one or two in there, I suppose. But that's not what I buy. I buy quality, and sure, it's more expensive than say a $50 or $20 thing at Walmart. But you don't need many of them. and they
Right.
last a very long time, dude. I'm telling you, go quality, man. It's better. It's cheaper in the long run, dude. It's just like with gasoline, which I said before, and someone was balking at me. It was probably Booster. We know how he is. Um, but I was telling you, dude, get premium gas. Buy the most premium gas you can get around you, right? And yes, it's
Mhm.
more expensive today, but 2, 3 years down the road, you've saved money because in the long run, your gas mileage goes up and the wear and tear on your engine is less. And never let your tank go below halfway, by the way. Don't do that. Consider the halfway
Right.
mark to be the empty line because there
That's
are
hard to do
certain
in
mechanical
America.
aspects of a gas tank that when you run it down around E all the time, you're messing it up, you're causing trouble. Like if you go into a corner hard and you're leaning in that gas, that's liquid, right? It sloshes. You can uncover pumps, you can burn out pumps, you can cause all kind of trouble. Don't do it. I mean, I'm just saying if you live based on quality, not brand, quality, you will save money in the long run big time, dude. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They wear out in the crotch. Well, what are you doing with your crotch? Stop rubbing it on shit. I've never had that problem, Eric. I've never had that problem. Yeah. But I also never, outside of childhood, I don't go through shoes a lot either. Although I do have a pair of, my wife bought them for me. I do have a set of pair of designer Eddie Bauer boots, which I don't even know who Eddie Bauer is. But my wife bought them in Korea or something when she was on a business trip. However, they were pretty nice boots. But they're tore up, and I got to take them to the cobbler. But I don't know. It depends on how much they are. Maybe I should just buy a new pair of Red Wings or something like that.
Those are
Like
good.
dress ones. The solid black and nice pretty ones. Maybe. I mean, because cobblers have gotten kind of expensive. When's the last time you used a cobbler?
Oh, I don't even know where one is. I know there's some in this city, but I have no idea where they are.
A cobbler is a person who repairs shoes,
Yeah.
right? Puts new soles on, new heels, lining, stuff like that. And I used to do it when I was younger because I'm all about maintaining the stuff I got, right? But it's kind of bit pricey, and I got to take these boots in for repair. But if it's over like $200, I just buy a new pair, right? That's the problem with the world we live in, though. It's
Yeah.
cheaper to just buy new.
Which
But
was the point. They did it on purpose.
yeah, I know, and they put those kind of people out of business, I guess. Hey, I've actually had my shoe shined by a shoe shine boy. I have,
Nice.
you know. Um, Eric says I had a blueberry cobbler. Oh, okay. What do you prefer though? Since Eric brought it up, do you prefer cobblers or crumbles?
Neither.
What do you mean neither? That's un-American.
Yeah. I don't like sweets.
Not, I'm not up for super sweet stuff either. But these things, like tarts and torts, they tend to have a bit of sour in them, right?
Eh. I don't really like pastries much. I'm not a pastry guy.
Oh, that's fine.
Just not just I'm just not.
One of the things I miss over here is a French, just a simple old French horn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
simple little good French horn. Here they'll do the little what's the Italian version of that? Starts with a C. Damn it. Um, they can be
Croissant?
good. No, 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 no.
Oh, you said Italian.
It's like a little wrapped kind of crispy biscuit with a cream inside of it. Um,
Oh, come on,
yeah, I know. I
Chester.
know. I can't think of it. It starts with a C, the Italian one. I occasionally find some of them that aren't bad, but I still kind of just miss a French horn, dude. Yeah, not an eclair. No, that's a filled bun. These are Italian. Oh, Jesus, fine. I'll go research it. Give me a second. God, it's irritating. All right, let's see here. Italian sweets. Let's see here. Let's see. 25 best Italian desserts. All right, fine. Let's see. Tiramisu. Actually, if you can find a correct tiramisu, those aren't bad, but it's very hard to find those. Cannelloni. There it is. Cannoli. Sorry,
Yeah.
cannoli, cannoli. Yeah, cannoli. I find a proper Italian cannoli sometimes. Um, but yeah, I just go to a French horn. I don't know. You're still living your home, so I guess you miss nothing, huh?
I still live in my home. What does that mean?
I mean, you still live where you were born and raised.
Oh, yeah, for the most part. Well, I was raised about 40 minutes outside of this city, but yes.
I'm a bit far away,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
No, I used to really love it here. As I've gotten older, I get it. I get the hatred of winter. I can't stand winter. I hate
I
it.
love it.
I need the sun. I need that sun. Uh, and I also am just real tired of how balmy it is. It's like people don't understand. They think, "Oh, I'm from the South. I get it. It gets hot down there." I do. You don't understand though until you get here and you feel one of our actual. See, Chester, we have humid days when it's cold. It's miserable. You're sweating when you're cold, Chester. You're cold and sweating. You got
Yeah,
like when you get the cold sweats when you're sick. You're outside in clothes
yeah,
doing
that's
that.
not good. That's pretty
It's
bad.
miserable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. That's one of the other reasons I do want to do more traveling. I want to get out of because I used to when I was young. I used to travel a lot, but I want to get out there. I want to see this place that God made. It's beautiful. I don't need to see cities. I don't. I want to go see the world. Go
Uh-huh.
see this planet. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful planet we got.
Yeah. There are some beautiful things, and if you have an opportunity to travel, especially you and your wife, you guys don't aren't burdened by children, dude.
Well, we're burdened by animals. We have pets,
Well, you
and
can put
that
them
can be
in
a
a
pain.
kennel, you know.
You can, yeah.
I mean,
It's just a pain
sure. I
dealing
mean,
with it.
used to travel all the time with a dog in the house. I just put him in a kennel.
Yep,
I
you
mean, a
can do
good
that.
one. You
Like
got to go
we
find
have
a good
people who
one.
can watch them. There's
Yeah.
people who can watch them too.
I mean, because I'd always spend weekends or stuff like that. I do like hotel weekends is kind of my thing, right?
Yeah,
I just drive somewhere, get a hotel overnight, go enjoy the food. Because I don't drink hardly, but if I'm in a hotel and I'm walking around the food center, sure, I'll have a cocktail. Why not, right? But that's about the only environment I really drink in. But yeah, we searched around and found a really good kennel where the dogs are well taken care of, and it only cost us like I don't know for the weekend it was like I don't know 60, $80, something like that. It wasn't that expensive,
right.
you know.
Yeah, it's not
So
bad.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you should travel, dude. Take the opportunity. I mean, like I said, have you ever tried a hotel weekend?
Yeah, yeah. We used to do it. There's a really nice one, just around here as well. But we used to do it occasionally. But there's a really nice one that's around here that's like a super pricey suites situation, and we would
Oh,
do
I
that
see.
too
See, I'd call
sometimes.
that a resort weekend, though. I'm talking about
Well,
go
yeah,
find a
but
cheap hotel. You don't need to spend no money on it. Cheap. You're not going to be in there much. You're just sleeping in it. Get a cheap hotel. Don't find one that's rat infested. But you can find clean business hotels. Get a cheap hotel. Just pick a city near you. Drive to it. Right. That's within reasonable distance. A
Mhm.
couple of hours, few hours. Get your hotel, go out, walk around the area, go shopping, get some food, see a site if you want, stay up late, go crash, get up the next morning, go home. It's a
Yeah,
simple little getaway. It feels great. And don't, keep it as cheap as possible. You don't need to spend money on the hotel. Just, the hotel should be the cheapest you can bear.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fun, dude,
Mhm.
and it's a good rinse and repeat for your brain. Get away from the, I do one a month. Once a month, outside of, I don't July and August I don't go anywhere because it's goddamn hot. But
Yeah.
anyway, it just kind of rinses yourself out. You feel refreshed and you're back to it. It's nice, you know. And I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know everyone's financial situation, but I usually keep it to around $300, 3 to 500 bucks. I mean, once a month. You know, I mean, it's not that much. It's not that
Yeah.
expensive. But anyway, let's get back to it here. This girl, also part two of Sydney Sweeney, that
Of
they're
Miss
very upset
Swaney.
about. Very upset about this young lady. Um, she posted some things on her, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook, something like that, of grandma. I guess grandma's 60th birthdays. Oh, congratulations, grandma! Right?
Mhm.
Grandma had 60th birthday. They went out. Now, I'm going to give you a totality of things that the wokies, and particularly ghetto blacks, had problem with her little soiree here. Okay. One, it was on a ranch.
Okay.
No, that's
What's
it. That's it. Ranches now are
Oh,
racist somehow. I don't know.
I see.
You know,
I mean, I'm fine with it. Maybe it'll keep trash from buying them.
right. I mean, for some reason, only white people have ranches. I know that's not true. I quantifiably know that that's not true. I've seen people of all colors have ranches. You know
Correct.
what? I've seen a black dude had a ranch.
Um, I believe this is true. The first movie cowboy like company that handled the horses, did the wrangling, all that stuff,
Yeah,
was owned and operated by a black man. I'm fairly
sure,
certain
why
that's
not?
true. Uh, and or if it wasn't, it was one of the first.
Well,
They
especially,
always have
oh yeah,
like
yeah, especially
rural
after the
blacks.
Civil War. A lot of
Yeah,
black people piled into the West for
the whole
opportunity.
idea of the
The whole
cowboy, the
country did.
aesthetic, is most likely from the vaquero, which isn't white, isn't a bunch of white people, it's a bunch of brown people.
Yeah, well, they're just
So
working dudes. They're just simply
yeah, they're just
moving
fieldmen. They're just
cows to
fieldmen wearing hats,
right.
basically.
And they're just moving cows to Chicago for slaughter because
Yes.
Chicago was a giant abattoir, is what it was, right?
Yes.
But yeah, no, especially after the Civil War. I mean, keep in mind after the Civil War also was a huge period of expansion, right? Of people them trying to fill the West, right? And of course, we had all those Europeans or Tartarians, whatever you want to call them, dumping in at the same time. And of course, a lot of black people went west. There were plenty of black cowboys, black ranchers, and also German ones and Russian ones and Greek ones. Did you know that how many Greeks were actually out in the West ranching? I mean, the Italians stayed away, but we know why, because yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's dumbness. But anyway, so one, ranch equals racism. Of course, I'm still confused. You can check and explain to me why. Um, let's see. Also, grandma thought it was funny, or grandpa maybe. Maybe this sounds like a grandpa thing, to be honest with you. They blame grandma, but I have a feeling it's grandpa. They had a bunch of, kind of the farmer sun hats, like a ranch hat, which in the middle of summer, kind of nice to have, you know. And it said, "Make 60 great again." Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
60? Like the
60, because
age?
it was grandma's 60th birthday. Yeah,
I see. Yes.
yeah.
So her family is probably conservative, and how dare she have
How dare
family
they
members
even? But they were
that
just
have
making
their
a
own
little joke.
beliefs?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I've seen people do that,
yeah,
like because Trump, is a master marketer. In fact, he might be the master marketer on Earth
dude.
right now. He
Yeah.
might be. Uh, he's turned that little phrase into such a meme that I've seen it for all sorts of
Oh,
stuff that
people
have
use
nothing
it
to
for
do.
everything. And it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
It's fun. It's fun. That's the problem with these people. They don't understand the word fun because their whole
that's right.
life is miserable. And
Well,
the
look at like
third,
a Trump rally. How fun it is! They're just fun.
they
They're
are
having a good
fun.
time.
They are having a good
Yeah.
old time. Um, And the third, crime of Sydney Sweeney and her entire family is some of her uncles in the photos had Blue Lives Matter shirts on, or the black and white flag with the blue line, right?
Yeah,
And it's like, well, they do.
be right back real quick.
It's kind of a weird thing to get upset about. I understand a lot of them want to defund the police and stuff, but that's really, really, really stupid. And you all know my stand on it. I mean, the police don't work for us. They don't. They work for the elite first, because the authority, right? Of course, that's what they are for. And two, they work for themselves. We maybe come in third, right? So I get it. It is what it is. However, and it's not like cops are perfect, they make mistakes, but we do need them. And honestly, the best way to interact with police is in a positive and friendly manner. It's just the
Okay, I'm
best
back.
way to deal with them, right? I
Mm.
have certainly stated some of the issues that could be improved with the police here. Thundera certainly has. But the simple fact of the matter is, blue lives do matter.
Oh yeah, they're
Because
human
they are
beings.
serving the public. I mean, that's the thing, and I'm going to say something controversial here, and Alan's going to get very upset with me. But
Uh,
this whole thing with Black Lives Matter is, for me, it's like, do they? Do all Black lives matter? I guarantee you they do fucking not. Just like all white lives don't matter, or brown, or yellow, or red, or purple, or whatever the hell color you are. Not all
right.
lives matter. Matter of fact, very, very few lives matter, right?
Well, it also depends on to who.
Well, sure, to you personally, your family, your loved ones matter, your friends. But I'm talking in the greater scheme of things. Most humans simply consume. That's all they do. They don't add
Okay,
anything to the greater whole at all. They are
correct.
not, you're not important. I'm sorry. You serve capitalism, you serve yourself. That's fine. I'm not calling you out for it, but you don't matter. If you get blown away in a tornado, sorry for your family. Safe journeys, buddy. But when we have like a child who has had no, who's we don't know their potential, sad. If you lose a doctor or a teacher or a farmer or police officers or firemen, people who actually serve the community, those matter more than others. Let's
Yep,
just be realistic about it here. And when you get
correct.
up and say these lives matter more than others, fuck you. Fuck
And
you straight.
the truth of the matter is, if you look out throughout all of human history and you put it on a scale, maybe 1,000 people have ever actually mattered,
Oh, if you want to
ever
get in the
actually
real
advanced.
nitpicky about it, oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
advanced
That's right.
humanity and advanced the cause of human life.
Sure.
Um,
And some of
in
those
a
are
lot of
women.
those,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, a lot of those are of the female variety. Uh, some of those might not even have existed. So there's also that.
Yeah,
But
that's
but
true.
the idea of them was able to advance humanity enough.
Yeah. I just want you to know this is kind of important. Eric sometimes gets the poop sweats.
I mean, when you're really getting in there, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta you got sometimes you got that hard one, got that
Yeah.
hard rock coming.
Yeah. That's one of the few actual medicines that I take daily. I don't know if you call it a medicine. It's like a fiber drink. It's like a powder
Yep,
you put in, mix of water, and you drink it quick, or otherwise it coagulates really fast. But I drink that every day to keep myself constant, right? It's very
yep.
handy. That's not really a medicine, I guess, but it's a maintenance thing. It works really well, because being constant is good, because being constipated kind of sucks. You know, you see that wordplay I did there? I'm an English teacher. No, that was the worst timing for him to go away. I was supposed to get the. Oh well. It is what it is. But we do have other things to get into here. I just want to start out with this because it's so stupid. It's a dumb little advertising dad joke. I mean, think about all the commercials you see and how lame and dumb they are, and that's the whole point, to kind of get your attention at the stupidity. It's a thin line though, because some of them are just annoying. It's like, I will never buy your product ever again, right? But that's kind of the path they take, right? Is kind of lame dad jokes. They're safe, and that's Sydney Sweeney has good genes. That's the joke they're making, and it's like, relax, dude. I mean, freaking relax. And they certainly brightened up her eyes because they keep going on about this blonde, blue-eyed girl. She's very dark-eyed. You know what she kind of looks to me in many of these pictures? She looks like an Italian girl or a Latin girl who has dyed her hair blonde. That's what she kind of looks like to me, right? So I'm not even sure how white she even considers herself, or that she even thinks of it at all, for that matter. But whatever. They're big mad at how dare they put a white girl that is fairly attractive on an advertisement. I mean, God, even. Anyway, amen. Lady says, very nice. Let's move on to our next story of the day. Now, Hulk Hogan, of course, has passed away. Safe journey, sir. Now, I want to talk about Hulk a little bit here because there's a very interesting phenomena that's going on, right? Now, of course, like I said in the very beginning of today's show, there is 62 celebrities in America, American celebrity, and British, American entertainment, that have passed away this year, and they're big names. These aren't little names; these are big name people. It's a pretty heavy year for entertainment, and most of them are in their 80s, 90s. They're all old for the most part. So great. They had a long life, and they enjoyed and did many things. However, obviously, Hulk Hogan is a legitimate American actual icon, where you could say Ozzy Osbourne is a legend. He is. Now, which one is known more worldwide? Probably Hulk Hogan, actually. I'm not sure. It's close. But in America, anyway, I mean, Hogan is an actual icon. Ozzy's a legend. However, we have seen a very interesting result here. Everyone is praising Ozzy. There's a lot of good videos in early July here before he died. He had a goodbye. It was specifically supposed to be about Black Sabbath, last time getting together reunion. But it was really about Ozzy. And you can tell if you go watch it, everyone knows he's dying. His
He knows
wife,
he's dying.
he knows he's dying. Everyone knows he's dying. And it's a beautiful thing. Go watch it. No, seriously, go watch it. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. It's warm, heartwarming. But everyone is praising Ozzy, giving accolades where accolades are due. The guy had an amazing career, and he is a sweetheart, right? Another thing about him that people seem to miss is he is a Christian, been so
Yep.
for an extremely long time. Sure, he's a wild guy, but he is a Christian. If you go listen to his music, in early days of Black Sabbath, they were a hippie band. They're highly political, anti-war. And he's always kind of heavy metal in general, often wants to talk about human problems, where pop music usually wants to talk about sex and love and girls and things like that.
Yes. Yes.
Heavy metal is oddly far more introspective than most music genres. It's weird with that, isn't it?
Yes.
It is weird.
Well, and I'm gonna just say the reason is because it's the most masculine genre.
It is
That's
very
why.
masculine, and it does
Yeah.
talk about human problems and stuff. And if you go look at the lyrics of most all his songs, they are about problems. I mean,
Yep.
like for instance, most people, I'd say worldwide, probably would recognize Metallica. Metallica is the
Yeah.
most commercially branded heavy metal band of all time. Um,
Most successful too.
and very successful. And Ozzy kind of falls into that category to a point. But if you go look, like, what's one of their biggest songs? One, right?
Mhm.
What is one about? Well, it's about a soldier who is blind and deaf.
Mhm.
That injuries he's got from war, and he's having to try to interact and live his life. It's talk about what's the point? One is all about war's bad.
Mhm.
but it's Metallica. You know,
Mhm.
guys dressed in black. You know. But
Mhm.
if you look at a lot of heavy metal, dude, it's talking
Yep.
about that kind of stuff, and Ozzy did that. But here's
Mhm.
my point that I'm trying to get to. Everyone is getting on love for Ozzy, which rock on, dude. Cool. Like I've told
Mhm.
you guys, I met the guy several times, right?
Mhm.
And he is an absolute sweetheart. He's a maniac. Every time I saw him, he's drunk out of his brain. I don't know. I think that's how he just functioned at that time. But
That was his default setting.
that was the fault. But he is a sweetheart, dude. He is. Nothing but love for Ozzy. Awesome, right? Kudos.
Yep.
Old Hulkster here. People
Yeah.
are literally praising his death. They're
Uh-huh.
celebrating his death. They're mocking him.
Mhm.
And the simple fact is, if you go online, there's hardly any articles about Hulk, actually. There's
Mhm.
thousands of articles about Ozzy, but hardly anything about Hulk. And I kind of want to break down a little bit because Thunder and I are both wrestling fans from young age. Um,
Yes.
why is that? Why is Hulk
Oh, I tell
getting
you.
all this
Very,
hate?
very simple. There's two reasons.
Okay,
He said the N word once in private when he didn't know he was being recorded, and said he didn't want his daughter dating that word. And
is
two,
okay.
um, because he supported Donald Trump
Oh,
openly.
that's there. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose there's a
So you
little
see, he's
bit.
he's an
Yeah.
evil racist. You see, because after having sex and being illegally recorded while doing so with a woman, they were having a conversation about his daughter, who was dating an absolute piece of shit rapper, and Mr. Hogan said, maybe I am racist because I don't want her dating those. And then, but here's the part they all leave out because they want to be offended at what he just said, even though everybody agrees nobody wants their daughter dating that. Um, he said, I could understand if he was like an NBA player or something. So it had nothing to do really with his skin color, is what he was saying. It's this particular way this gentleman is. He doesn't want his daughter dating trash, is what he was
Right. So
he was
he
just
was
using
he
vernacular.
he was saying soft R, not hard R.
No, he said the whole deal. The
Well,
whole deal.
being intentionally because he's closer to my generation to the younger
Yep.
generation, and
He's the same age as my father.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
71.
Well,
My
really,
father be
well,
71 this
my
year.
dad's a bit
Yep.
older, but from like I said before, I've said this before. When I was young, that word, which I've never used that word because I don't use other words either. Because why?
Mhm.
But that word was reserved for trashy ghetto criminal thugs.
Correct. It
Is what
it
it was
literally
used
just
for.
means deficient. It means stupid. That's what
Less
it means.
than. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Today, people have their own term. I've always used the word ghetto because ghetto, that's what ghetto is. And ghetto comes in all colors, everywhere. Everywhere's got ghetto. But anyway, he said that, and I don't know that he's wrong. I would be very upset if my daughter were
If your
dating
daughter came home with somebody who was like
like a
not
Yakuza
even
kid or something like that. I'd
not
be
even
pissed.
into Yakuza, but he's like glorifying it, and he's
Like a
one of those type
chimpida.
of people.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be happy.
No, I'd be
You'd be like,
pissed.
no, no, no,
Well,
no, no.
I'd
This ain't
throw him out
happening.
on his ass, you see.
Yeah, this ain't happening. This ain't
No.
happening. But that's the point. Nobody wants their daughter, if they love their daughter, to date trash. I
No.
don't care who you are. I don't care what words you want to use. That's what he meant, and he was very clear about it because literally in the same little thing here, he said he wouldn't care if he was an NBA player or something like that, or it's something to that effect, right? That's basically what he said. Which means as long as he was, a decent, hardworking person, he doesn't care what the race is. He cares because he's also a piece of trash, right? That's what he cares about.
Right.
But they took
Right.
this, of course, and decided, he's an evil racist bigot who hates black people and is, I mean, you've seen all the
I have.
craziness.
I have.
None of it's true. There's no
Yeah.
here's how you know it's not true. One, every single black person he's ever worked with has defended him and says that he was great to work with and never had a problem with him. There's
Sure.
one. Two, um, even ones who typically will play the race card have nothing to say about Hulk Hogan. There's one. Two, I have seen zero, and I've been a Hulk Hogan hater most of my life. I was never a Hogan guy. I was a Macho Man Randy Savage guy.
Yeah. Fair
I
enough.
have never seen anybody give me a credible story of him being in any way even slightly negative at all to a fan who wasn't white or a black fan. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. I've never heard even one where he was short with this person. Never. You don't. That
No,
story doesn't exist
no,
because you know why? Because he's not racist.
no,
That's
he's
why
got a
that
ton
doesn't
of
exist.
he's got a ton of black friends.
He was around
Yeah,
in the public eye at the top of the industry of an industry that's older than baseball in America. By the way, and this man was the king. He's the king of it. It's not even
yeah,
disputable for his whole
there's no
career.
question, there's no question.
And
And
there's not one story. You don't got one. You
yeah,
got something with Babe Ruth, and you don't got none with this boy. What are we talking about?
yeah, that's true.
Like,
Now,
it's
I initially,
ridiculous.
it is ridiculous. I initially thought, when I saw this kind of fervor, that it was about the fact that he's a company man, which he is,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
he is ridiculously ambitious at the fault of everybody else, which he
Yeah.
is.
He wants to
Um,
win.
he does, and he has stepped on a few throats along the way. I thought it was
Okay?
about that because
No,
there is a bit of angst against
absolutely.
the Hogan
But
because of that kind of stuff.
just about anybody that gets to that level, that's just the name of the game. But
Yeah, no, I know.
the truth of the matter is, you cannot deny the Hogan effect. It's indisputable. When he came in and he started running wild, as he called it, running wild. The industry went from, you know, a small little it was basically a joke, more of a southern thing than anything, to a worldwide phenomena in less than a decade. And he became such a cultural icon that I shared this thing in the 90s, right? When he did a second run where he made the business
Hollywood
better,
Hogan,
by
yeah,
the way,
yeah,
as Hollywood. Dennis Rodman, who was, NBA player, one of the world's most famous NBA players. He's an NBA icon, one of the best defenders to ever play the game. Dennis Rodman, he's also a little crazy, but Dennis Rodman left and did not practice during the finals. He didn't go to practice while they were in the finals for the championship, Chester, so he could be on television with Hulk Hogan.
sure,
That's how much of an icon this man was.
yeah,
That's how serious it was if Hogan reached out to you. You're like, yep, let's go.
yeah.
By the way,
Now,
Dennis Rodman, incredibly black man. So I don't know.
yeah, slightly.
He's not doing racism right, guys. He was doing it real wrong. He
He
kept knocking
was,
black people out.
he
What's he
was.
doing? What's he
Um,
doing?
Maple Chic says Hogan should have been allowed to drop the N bomb because Booker T called him that on national live
He
TV.
did. Yeah,
Uh,
I seen it, and it's hilarious because he didn't mean to, but he did. It just came. He was just riffing. Booker T was. It came out.
it just did. Yeah, but I mean, okay, well that's stupid. I mean, if you want to complain about his ruthlessness, okay, fine.
Yes,
But I just was a bit
but it was
shocked by it.
probably a good thing for the industry and on the whole, because here's your alternative. He's not that way, and then you get multiple people like the Ultimate Warrior, who they elevate. And in fairness, he was super popular.
He
They
was.
elevate. He's not that guy. He's not built to be the guy. He's not built to be the guy who carries the company. He just wasn't, and everything falls apart because of it. Well, one of
Well,
the main reasons, anyway.
of course, the reason why you can't build anything on the Ultimate Warrior is because he was a coke fiend.
He had a little bit of a problem. He
You
had a
know,
bit of a problem.
I mean, that's the reason.
He was just unstable in general. Like he was
He
just one of those
was.
guys. He couldn't rely on him. He couldn't count
Yeah.
on him. Hogan, for all his faults, you could count on him. If he signed it, he was going to be there. He was there. He got it done. If he was physically able. As far as I don't know of any major stories where he screwed over the promoter or whatever and just didn't show up or whatever.
No.
Yeah, I've never heard of a story about it. It's probably maybe. I mean, he had a 40-year career, so it probably happened. But I don't. If it did, it wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like there is no comparison really culturally to Hulk Hogan in pro wrestling. You have to go outside of pro wrestling to a Michael Jordan, to a Babe Ruth,
Yeah.
people
No,
like
he's
this
a
who
true icon. True icon.
become bigger than the thing that they made him big. Right? He did. You
Yeah.
can't. No one can deny that of him. Even Stone Cold, who's technically a bigger draw on paper
Steve Austin.
than Hogan was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drew in more numbers. He broke Hogan's records. He did. That's true. but culturally, he's still not
No,
Hulk Hogan.
no. I
He's
mean,
just not.
if you take a picture of some of the most famous, say, top 10 most famous wrestlers of all time, the only one
Right.
the random person in Africa or Indonesia would recognize would be Hulk Hogan. That's it.
With the Hulkster, the
That's
red and
it.
yellow.
It
Yep.
is what it is. He was gigantic. He was in everything. He was
Yep.
America, you
Yep.
know. And him
He
standing
became
up and
synonymous with
he
America,
did.
which is amazing.
And him standing up and being with Trump at his rally, it makes perfect sense because Trump is all about America. The
Yes.
Democrats aren't about America at all. Matter of fact, they're
Well, Trump's
rather
always had his back
anti
too.
American. That's
Yeah.
true. And it seemingly did actually, he did that interview. It actually seems to piss Terry off quite a bit, which honestly, it pissed us all off. But I mean, it
Mhm.
makes sense that the American icon would be with the American based
Yeah.
president.
Yes.
It's
Mr.
not weird
American.
at all, right?
No, it makes
Um,
perfect sense.
and I don't
Um,
know, but didn't he show? I'm pretty sure I remember him showing up to some Clinton thing.
Hogan?
Yeah,
He might have. I
I'm
don't
pretty
remember.
sure I remember there was some Clinton thing, and Hogan was there. There were a whole bunch of people there.
Well, Bill was for all of his faults, and there are many, and I wouldn't have voted for him. But for all of his faults, he at least seemed to love the country. He seemed to like America, the idea
No,
of
that's
America,
true.
the all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Like I don't know if it's true or not, but at least he pretended. The Democrats don't even pretend anymore, unless they
No,
can somehow make Republicans look bad.
I mean, he was all about, complete federal control, which Democrats are. But no, I think he loved
Yes,
America. I think he still does. But
probably.
anyway, it's just I just want to mention it because safe journey, sir. I grew up
Yeah,
with Hulk
crazy.
Hogan, of course, and had a lot of fun
In
with
all
him.
honesty, I was thinking about this earlier. It's amazing he made it to 71.
It is,
I mean,
it
he was
is,
a pro wrestler, which is a horrific job for your body, your
it
physical
is.
health. He beat it up horribly with steroids and all sorts of hard drugs for years.
Yep.
Like the fact he made it that far is a
Well,
testament to medicine, modern medicine. To be
it
honest
is,
with you,
but I also think there's a difference because a lot of the more modern wrestlers, they're doing the same thing he did, but they also have growth hormone involved, and he didn't have that,
yes,
right?
yeah, they have growth hormone.
Um,
They have much better physical therapy. Physical therapy is crazy now, Chester. If you ever get injured now, unless you have something wrong with you, you'll heal in speed you did 20 years ago is
sure,
unheard of.
sure, but
It's
it
crazy.
also I think is what's killing them.
It could be.
Because we have a
Oh,
lot of these
the
wrestler
hormone.
kids, the steroid guys that don't make it into their 50s, dude, or are hardly into their
Yeah,
50s.
yeah,
It's
it
a
enlarges your
serious
heart.
issue, right? And
Yep.
I think that's one of the reasons why he was able to make it this far. Let's see here. Maple Chic says Hulk Hogan team with Mr. T did Junkyard Dog quite a bit, and
Yep.
Dennis Rodman, all black men. He and once again, shout out Junkyard Dog.
Not a single one of them ever had a bad thing to say about Hulk either.
No, no.
It
Alan
says something.
says, yeah, Booker T and Hogan were in the same room, and Macho Man
Yeah,
asked Hogan, "How do you feel about T calling you the N word?"
yeah.
Hogan replied, "I'm a good N
This is a
word."
great.
No,
I must be a good N word. That's what he said. Which is hilarious, and obviously Booker T and his brother just laughed because it's hilarious because they're
sure,
not sensitive little bitches like most
no,
of these black people pretend to be nowadays. Um, they're not all. They're not You know, they have that word white fragility or male fragility. The least fragile group of people are white males. It's
yeah,
ridiculous how much shit we put up with. If we were as fragile as you, you'd all be dead.
yeah.
Let's be
No,
real
we
for
do
a
have to put
second.
up
We
a
would have
lot of shit.
genocided the shit out of you a long time ago.
That's
All of you,
right. Yeah.
everyone.
Well, to be fair though, in my life, I've never used directly racial epithets. I've never have. I always
Not
thought
to
it
a
was kind of
person.
silly. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've
I've never
never
done that to a
used it like
person.
that. I might
No,
use it
I'll do
in
it jokingly.
explanation. Not
No,
even jokingly. I usually use it in like in a situation like this, explaining a situation.
yep.
But that's just me.
I think racism's funny.
It can be. It
I
can
think
be.
there's no reason to pretend that it's not
Hmm.
because 99% of the time it's just funny when you think about let's say somebody's genuinely racist, which is rare, but let's say they are.
Yeah,
It's so silly. That's such a silly thing to have and think and be. Like you're
sure.
silly. It's like that'd be like looking at a brunette and be like, fucking brunettes, pieces of shit, all of them. Like that's
right,
just silly.
or
That's a silly thing to say.
the ginger genocide. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, of course it is. And and a lot of people misunderstand this word racism anyway, because racism is they misplace it for prejudice, right?
Yes.
Because racism means that you are better than this other person because your race is superior to
Simple.
them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just because.
That's it,
That's right.
right? Now,
Which
there's
is
plenty of
silly.
people that don't want to associate,
Yes.
and that is a prejudice, for of course,
Yeah.
but it's
But it's
not
also
racism.
it's not necessarily a wrong prejudice. It's depending on why they feel that way.
Yeah,
If it's a rational position, meaning they came through it from a logical experience. Maybe they dealt with those people like I just don't want to deal with people like that just in case. Maybe that guy's great, but I don't want to deal with it. I can't hate a person for that. That's a logical
that's
position. That's
prejudice,
rational.
yes, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
not.
prejudice.
It's not racism.
But what they'll
Um,
say though is, of course, like you said, they'll twist it. They'll say, "Well, that means they're racist." No, it
no,
doesn't. It
it
means they've
doesn't.
had a bad
No, it
experience and
doesn't.
they don't
Yeah,
want to risk
that's
having it
right.
again. That's all
And
it means.
and to be fair, most of the black people in America are prejudiced. I have
Oh, they're
seen
horrible.
actual racist blacks. I have seen that,
Unbelievable
but they
how
are
bad they are.
very prejudiced.
Which is weird because
Unfortunately.
I don't run into it, and I live. There's tons of blacks around here. I live.
Well, they
I've never
segregate
had one.
themselves.
I've never had one to my face anyway be that way. I know it exists, but for some reason they're chill. They're always chill around here. Like I've never had trouble getting along with anybody in the
Sure.
Midwest. I think it's a Midwestern thing. I think we're just chill. We're like, as long as you
Maybe
ain't
it
fucking with me, I ain't
depends.
fucking with you.
If
Simple
you're dealing
as.
with like a middle-aged or younger black guy, he might be prejudiced towards you. If you're dealing with a
Yeah.
black girl of any age, she's probably racist. If you're dealing with an old black man, he's definitely racist.
Well, is it racism if they love you? Because black ladies love me. I don't know why, but they
Oh
do.
no,
They always have.
well, to let's be honest with we're talking about not mulatto, we're talking about actual black ladies.
No,
Um,
yeah,
I do have some sympathy for them. I do.
yes.
Because
They're unattractive.
they're not. Most men don't find them attractive at all. One, two, their
No.
own men are constantly chasing the white girl because some reason they think that that's validating. And the white girls are happy to play along with it. So whatever.
Now, let's be fair. Only about 10% of white girls are happy to play along with it.
Well,
The
whatever.
vast
They're
majority of white women have no desire to go outside their race. We've got data on it. The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
white
But I'm
women are
just
actually the most racially preferenced group in their own race. They have the
oh,
most
okay,
highest
fine.
in-group
But you know what I
race.
mean. It is a
Yeah.
thing. So all I'm saying is I do have some sympathy for the black ladies because they are kind of up, and that's why we've seen a radical increase of lesbianism inside their ranks. I mean, just an
Yes.
insane amount of racism, not racism, lesbianism inside black women's
Hmm.
population, and it's
Hmm.
kind of because they've been forced to that, right? So I do have some sympathy for them, but nevertheless, I'm going to go put some hot water on so because I want some more coffee. Whilst I do that, would you like to
Before you
give?
go,
Yes,
this is how important Hulk Hogan is as a cultural as an entity, not the
mhm,
man Terry Bollea, because obviously Hulk went way beyond Terry.
of course.
My first memory as a human person on this earth, Chester, is WrestleMania 3 and him body slamming Andre the Giant. That's my
Oh
first
yeah,
actual memory that I can crystallize in my mind. I was 2 at the time.
yeah.
Uh, that is to me and to millions of other people,
Oh yeah,
it's just that's what he was. He was
oh
that
yeah.
guy. He was synonymous with something, and that something was pro wrestling.
And it was an amazing
Um,
scene to see him do that. Yeah, that was amazing
yes,
because he
yes.
got he got that
So
big boy up.
he got him. He did.
Mhm.
Well, he had some help, but
Of
yeah,
course he did, but still, he had to bear that weight, buddy. I mean,
yeah.
that's was
Five
a
hundred
feat.
pounds.
That was a
That's a big
feat.
boy.
Big
That's a
boy.
big boy.
Anyway, regale them with your best Hulk Hogan memory, please. Maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
besides
do
that
that.
one, when I was also a very young man, I had to be probably only a year or two after this because Andre didn't wrestle very much after that. His body started shutting down on him. Um, one of the only times, I think the only time I ever got front row tickets to a wrestling show They came to town, and they would, they do house shows, so they do smaller shows in smaller towns, smaller cities that they don't tape, they don't put on TV. So my family got there. I don't know how, why, when, what the tickets were purchased. I don't know if they were purchased, if they won them. I have no idea. But somehow my father got his hands on front row tickets and took the whole family, me, my cousins, my sisters, my mom, and we were sitting there in the front row. And it's Hogan and Andre, and they're battling. Boom, 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 boom. Like they're battling in there. All of a sudden, they get outside the ring for some reason, and Hogan decides to Irish whip Andre into the guardrail, or I don't know if it was an Irish whip, but he throws him into the guardrail, and Andre falls. I don't know if he stumbled or if he meant to do this into the guardrail. And back then, they didn't have the. If you watch modern WWE, they have this nice big black padded barricade that protects the wrestlers, but also keeps them from getting in the crowd. It's a whole deal. Well, this was back when they still had those metal guardrails, and that's all they used. That's all they separated you from the ring was the metal guardrail. And big old 500-pound Andre the Giant fell on the guardrail right in front of us on his side, and the guardrail literally fell into our laps. I was almost crushed to death by Andre the Giant as a very, very young man because Hulk Hogan decided to throw him at us effectively. My father, who was also a very large man, he was 6'1", 6'2", about 300 pounds at the time in the late 80s. And he eventually basically helped Andre get off of us. But when they would stand, like Andre got up, my dad was up. It was not. It's like Andre was a genuine giant. He was a big man, because my father was a big man and he dwarfed him. He looked like a little kid next to him. It was crazy. But yeah, I almost got crushed. This is, I swear on everything that exists, I almost got crushed by Andre the Giant in the Toledo Sports Arena, which is where they used to hold these things around here. They do it it's called the Huntington Center now. Much bigger, much nicer arena. And I almost got crushed to death by Andre the Giant as a very young child because Hulk Hogan threw Andre the Giant onto this guardrail right in front of us. That is my personal most favorite memory involving Hulk Hogan. Obviously, there's others. I mean, the man was ubiquitous with pro wrestling. I've been a pro wrestling fan my entire life. Like I said, first memory is of pro wrestling. And another one that I always really loved, even though it was the wrong person, blah, 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 his match with Ultimate Warrior in Toronto, the Sky Dome, one of his best matches of his entire career. Great match. The feud with Macho Man Randy Savage, the Mega Powers Explode feud, is still one of the best feuds in wrestling history, especially at that level. And I'll still to this day say Macho Man was correct. Hogan was after his woman. I don't care what Hogan says. That boy had them eyes going. He was making eyes. Great feud, obviously, iconic. And then one of the things that people forget and gets overlooked about Hulk Hogan is he did this not once but twice, where he quite literally said he made a shift, or he showed up with the Hulkamania thing. Here's one of the things that WWE won't talk about, even in their little video package they put out talking about him. They won't acknowledge this, but it's the truth. WWE had nothing to do with Hulkamania. They just capitalized on it. Hulkamania was already happening, and Vince Sr., or it might have been Vince Jr., but one of them, I think it was Vince Sr., decided to buy into it effectively, get his contract, get him there, get him in front of a bigger audience, and it just kept going from there. It might have been Vince Jr., it doesn't matter. But the McMahons, they capitalized, is what they did. They did not create Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea did. Can't take it from him. No one can take it from him. Yes, a lot of it was ripped off from other wrestlers, but that's pro wrestling, baby. That's the name of the game. You come up with a cool idea, you do it pretty well, then somebody else comes and does it better. That's just the way it is. And that's fine. That's what you should want, right? That means the industry keeps evolving, keeps growing. And so he took some things from here or there. He took something from a superstar Billy Graham, right? A lot of his mannerisms and the way he would dress, and even this look here a little bit to some degree, he got from superstar Billy Graham. The way he would cut promos, he got from various different people. Because he didn't do that at first. In fact, he was actually terrible on the mic for his first few years as a wrestler. He couldn't cut a promo for his life. He was really soft-spoken and quiet, and he didn't really want to raise his voice, which is actually how Hogan was when he wasn't he was typically very reserved guy. Actually, he had to turn it on to become the larger than life superhero that was Hulk Hogan. But he pieced it together and he created something that the only thing the McMahons did, the only WWF at the time really did, was they marketed him very well. Vince realized he had something really special here, which good on him. That's great. And he said, we're gonna get this in front of as many eyeballs as we can, and we're gonna ride this thing till it bucks us, basically. And that's what he did. And it was a brilliant idea because what Hogan effectively did for the first run in the '80s is, like I said earlier, he took what was considered a sideshow effectively at this time. Now, wrestling had its glory days 20, 30 years before this, where it was on national television. It was huge, Gorgeous George era and what have you. It was huge. These people were superstars back then. But that was a long time ago at this point. It had really fallen off in the preceding years. And all Hogan did, the Hulkamania was real. Like, it was a great marketing tool, but it was real. The man was on fire all over the world. He couldn't go anywhere without being swarmed, just like any super popular rock icon or whatever at the time, or music icon, television star, TV star, or movie star. He was at that level, and he effectively pulled that industry out of the dark ages and into a more modern age. And then after all the stuff that happened with Vince, all that stuff that happened even with him, the big scandals, the what have you, and the industry started falling off, when he decided, and it was his decision at the end of the day, make no mistake, it was by the time he got to WCW, Hulk didn't do anything Hulk didn't want to do. He had that much stroke, simple, and he deserved it, to be honest. I know a lot of people talk about how bad of an idea it is to give a wrestler creative control. It is, but if you're going to do it to anybody, how about you give it to the most popular one who's ever existed? That makes sense to
Sure.
me. I don't know.
Sure.
Seems fair to me. So
WCW did have a good run there for a while.
they did. They did. So they do the turn, the NWO, and Hulk Hogan does it again. He pulls the industry off of the precipice it had been on, because it had been going down for almost a decade. And with the NWO, they right the ship. They take the industry in the direction it needs to go on, which is a little bit more serious, a little bit more adult, right? Focused at a young adult audience instead of kids and families. And it worked. That's what the market needed at the time. That's what the market
Sure.
wanted. And it worked to a level that we'll probably never see from pro wrestling ever again. There was a time where every week, for about 2 years at least, 12 million Americans watched pro wrestling live on television.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't exist now. It
And
just
Hulk
doesn't happen.
and Hulk was definitely a children's phenomenon. He
He
definitely
was the
was.
first time. The first time, Hollywood, not so
Hollywood
much, but
was
Hulk Hogan was.
more
Yeah,
adult. But no,
yeah.
definitely kid stuff. I mean, eat your
He was a
vitamins.
superhero.
He
He was
was.
a superhero. Yeah.
But actually, one of we see some fondest memories over here. Um, one of my fond my I'll give my fondest memory in a minute, just for the chat. But I did always enjoy the way he said "Mean Gene." I always like that.
Yeah.
Um, but the way he said his name. But actually, I think one of the coolest Hulk Hogan moments isn't in the ring. Um,
Mm,
Hulk has been a Christian for a very long time. In
yes.
his later life, he, of course, is more Christian, as we all do. And
Typically, yeah.
but he had been in Roddy Piper's ear for decades about
Yeah.
Jesus,
About the
right?
Jesus.
Because
Feed him some Jesus.
they were good friends. Those two, they're actual friends. And he was in his
Well, what's
ear.
funny is to hear them tell it they weren't, but they always talk to each other all the time. Like, guys, you're friends. Like, why you pretend?
Yeah,
They would
no,
always be like, ah, we're
they're
not friends. We don't get
great
along. But
friends.
they're always talking to each other.
They're
Like,
always
wait a
chatting
minute.
outside, which has nothing to do with wrestling. But he'd been in his ear for a long time, and he got a voice message from
Yeah,
Roddy Piper that unfortunately arrived 2 weeks after Roddy's death,
right. Or he found
right?
it or something to that
Or what
effect. Yeah,
have you. It came into his possession two
right.
weeks after. And it was Roddy finally saying that he had found Jesus.
That's right.
And
That's glorious.
it was, and I thought Hulk was actually going to. I mean, he did cry, but it was more of a theater cry. But there was actual
Yeah.
tears there as well.
No, he's
And
probably happy.
that was a cool moment. I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm
it's
not even a
good to
Christian, but I
know,
thought it was a good moment.
as a believer in Jesus Christ myself, it's good to know that a lot of these legends in wrestling, especially, which is very strange how much it is in wrestling. A lot of these people, I'm gonna see them again. They're up there waiting. They're up there with the Jesus, having a good time. They're no, it's a good time. I like that. Hogan's
Yeah.
one of them. He was very, very open about his faith, especially at the end. Uh, Piper, that is really good to hear. Obviously, Roddy Piper is probably it's hard to find somebody I can say I like more than Piper. Piper was the man. Piper was awesome.
He was so good on the
Uh,
mic. Yeah, he was great, great, great wrestler.
but there's a whole bunch of them. Like Shawn Michaels is one. Eddie Guerrero.
Sure.
Oh, Shawn Michaels is still alive, thankfully, but you get my meaning. Ted DiBiase, Million Dollar Man, is a devout Christian preacher now. That's what he does. He runs a ministry. Um,
Sure.
and there's the Undertaker. The Undertaker at his Hall of Fame speech, the last thing that he did was profess Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, a lot of them do. A lot of
Yep.
sports people do as well. And on that note, I don't know if I didn't have it up for today's conversations, but do keep in mind up in the desperately need the Jeebus, Canada, which has a lot of wrestlers, probably the best wrestler of all time, in Bret Hart, of course. But
In ring, yeah.
in ring for sure.
Between the
But
ropes.
they had a situation up there where they literally shut down a worship service because it was dangerous to the public, and they didn't have a permit because, now listen to this, they had a guest singer and evangelist who is MAGA, I guess, showed
Okay.
up, and they didn't have a permit to be having a worship event in their church. In
What?
Not outside in some park or some field,
Wait.
inside the actual church.
Where was this?
Montreal.
Oh, Canada. Well, Canada's an occupied
I
country.
just
I
said
don't know what
Canada.
to
It
tell you.
is. But I
I didn't
mean,
hear you say that part. I was
that's
looking. I got a
how
fish tank in here.
ridiculous.
Completely off topic, but this is what distracted me. I have a fish tank in here, and for some reason, both of the fish are swimming at the very corner, just directly at the corner of the fish tank, and I don't know why. I've never seen this behavior. It was very distracting. So, but yeah, no, that is ridiculous. Canada has lost all sense of its Anglo freedom because that's where a lot of that stuff, those ideas come from. They don't even kind of respect natural rights anymore. They don't even the
No,
natural
they
law. They don't even.
hate Christians. Love them Muslims though.
Yeah,
And speaking of that, I think it's deep enough into the show that I can escape the YouTube algorithm. You
yep,
ready?
do it. Escape them.
Okay. Once again,
Escape.
love Ozzy. But
Crazy week. If you were an '80s, if you love the '80s, we lost two '80s icons within 2 days of each other. That's crazy. I asked this question to somebody the other day, right? And I said, of who's still left that was at that level of your Ozzy Osbournes or your Hulk Hogan's, right? These were like icons, true icons. Who's left from the '80s? Where their big decade was probably the '80s, right? Who's left?
mm,
I can't think of anybody at that level.
the
That
crew
level.
the crew is still around.
Yeah,
Um,
but are they that level? I don't know if they are.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith, yeah, but
Uh,
I don't know, man. It's tough.
no,
It's tough.
Ozzy
Like,
became a thing, dude. He became
he
a
did.
thing. It
He
is
did.
it
He
is what
got
it
up there with
is.
the Elvises. He got
He
up there to that
did.
level.
He
He
did.
did.
And how do you calculate that magic? I don't know. But
I
and
don't think you
Alf,
can.
that's fair, Alan. Alf, yeah.
Yes, Elf's still
But
around. That's true.
Alf's gone though, because he was dissected by the government. We know that.
That's true. They
Anyway,
got him.
um, I saw
The bastards.
a little mention drop from some military man in the Discord talking about that no, there are no moderates in Islam. Islam is an extremist, tyrannical regime.
Hmm.
And of course, I know this chat has that opinion. A lot of people are arguing back and forth about Islam. So, I kind of historian a little bit, a
Yep.
little bit, a little bit.
Yep.
And I thought I would show you a graphic here. I'm just going to be quiet. Okay.
Just let it play.
All right.
Let it roll.
This is just a graphic. This is the statistical graphic. There's no audio, so I'm not going to turn it on.
Just going to let it play, folks.
622, 1453.
The expansion. Look at that first expansion, though. Wow.
Umaids.
Yep. I mean, that's just mental. Look at that.
Notice Europe.
One of the only places to truly resist them.
We're starting to get some breakup here, but we're about to drop into the Byzantine Empire here very shortly.
Yep.
Now, there's another graphic that shows every battle, and it's even scarier.
Yes.
Talk about invasive. It's about to explode here.
And the worst part about this, so we've just watched about 300 years of their expansion, right?
Yeah.
This was really a stagnation at this point, but it's about to blow
Pop.
up again.
It's about to
Yeah.
pop. Seriously pop.
The worst part about this that people don't want to talk about for some reason, and even the people who should, is these Muslims. Aside from other Muslims, the vast majority of the people they were killing were Christians. All of that territory that we just saw them take was either Christian or Zoroastrian.
Sure, but
yeah, but they were Christian.
Yeah, that's fine culturally, but I'm just
saying all of this was Christian. Christianity had spread.
Sure, the Roman Empire.
Yeah, and they showed up and they wiped out 100, 200 million. We don't really know. We can't know. 100 or 200 million Christians within 500 years.
If you ever wondered why, in general, the Saudi Arabians are more copacetic than other Muslims, you notice how long it's not been Muslim, even though it started there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this explosion. Look at this shit. Of course, the Crusades are taking place.
Finally had enough. The Europeans. They'd finally had enough of their bullshit. Took them a long ass time, but they got it done.
Okay.
I didn't realize they got that deep into India. That's crazy.
Dude, they went all across India into Bangladesh, Indonesia. We're about to see the African pop as well. There was some serious pushback here for a little while, wasn't there?
Yep.
We almost got rid of them.
Yep. They just couldn't finish it.
Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, just because these empires have collapsed, that doesn't mean the Muslims are still not there.
No, of course, yeah.
Okay, so the Ottomans coming up. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Look at that.
Oh, it ain't
Eventually,
done.
they get farther up on that east of Europe too.
They do. Although the western side has been pushed back greatly.
Yes,
we're coming up on the
finally had enough.
Yes,
the
of course
Iberians.
the French victory, which is where we get the croissant from.
Yep. Now the French could fight. They used to be able to do it. I don't know what happened. They gave up, lost their will. Here they come. Here they come into Europe.
Yeah.
Coming up to one of my favorite moments in all of history.
Right. And now
when they were sieging Vienna and the Polish came, the Winged Hussars came over that mountain rise and stopped, basically sacked their siege is what they did. And that was basically it as far as their official military incursions that deep into. They never got that deep again. until
No,
recently, where they just
right,
came in
until
without
recently,
militaries.
because idiots like Merkel. But now this
Yeah.
stopped in 1453. Now what he's saying does take place coming
Yes.
up, and you had the Protestant Reformation,
Yep.
which was, we don't really know completely what was going on with that. We do know part of that was dealing with Muslims. Of course, we also saw the Muslims after this point. Once again, have another big push in India. You saw they had several pulses into India, but also a huge pulse into Indonesia and Africa, a huge pulse. And then after the Reformation, the world was in chaos. And of course, the 19th and 18th century, the world was in serious ass chaos. But
Yep.
we saw things starting to chill out a bit. And then, of course, in the 1970s, we had the radical return to Islam that we're still dealing with today.
Mhm.
And of course, at that same time in the late 60s and early 70s, we saw all kind of reformations all throughout Asia, Southeast Asia. Of course, not even that long before that, like in the late 40s, early 50s, we saw the British Empire completely collapse, and of course Pakistan-India war kick off with the old Gandhi, and they're still dealing with that today. A lot of the violence in India is in Hindi versus Muslim violence, a lot of it.
Yes.
And of course, we're still dealing with this. And like I said, the one that I couldn't find it, but the one that shows each battle that we've been able to catalog is even more terrifying because you got to understand the Muslim or the Islamic thought. They would go to a town and they said very simply, join us or die. That's it.
Yep.
Very
Convert or die.
straightforward, convert or die. And saw a lot of places did just convert. But what they found when they did that they had made a mistake, which honestly I think the you get the end result is the same. They would harass the population for years after you surrendering and doing everything they can to remove the men or sideline the men as they took the women. Because that's what the Muslims do. They are a militaristic religion. It is what they are. And their whole thing is to breed you out. Like I said, go to Egypt and show me an Egyptian, right? Go to Libya and show me a Libyan. They're no longer. They're gone. They've been completely bred out.
Yep.
Now, are there pieces of that DNA in there? Sure, I'm sure there is. But that's what they do. So
Yep.
anybody want to sit there and say that Islam is a religion of peace? Yeah, show them that video
Hmm.
because I could tell you one thing: the Christians didn't do any of that. They didn't.
Mm.
Because where do the Christians come from? They come from a conversion of a particular emperor named Constantine. Simply saying,
Right.
okay, well, this is our official religion now, right? There have been very, very few battles in the name of the Christian God in taking territory.
That's
That's
right.
not how it worked. Now, did the Catholics get up to some shenanigans and nonsense? Sure, of course they did. Did they push
Right.
back and kill a lot of Muslims during their crusades? Yep, but you saw why.
Yeah. After it took them about 400 years of constant invasion and rape and
Right.
pillage from the Muslims before they finally said, "All right, that's enough. That's enough."
Yeah, no, a few centuries. But I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, Islam has been one of the most invasive things to ever hit the human population.
It's the worst. I
Yeah,
would say it's the worst. I don't
yeah.
think, especially ideologically, there's nothing. The only thing that comes close, and it's a lot younger, is communism. But it's the
Communism,
worst.
but the Persians could be a bit, but once again, same area. The
Yeah.
Persians did some pretty nasty stuff, but to no, not even close to the extent, not even
No.
close. And they didn't
No,
last
Islam's
very long
responsible
because,
for at least a billion
oh yeah,
deaths,
yeah,
at
yeah,
least
easily.
directly.
And of
Yeah.
course, the Persians didn't really get the same hold because a certain little Macedonian named Alexander went in there and absolutely tore their entire empire apart. It's
Yeah.
shocking what he accomplished with his.
Mollywopped them.
He did, dude.
I mean, old
Uh,
mollywopping.
but anyway, I just because I see the chat and stuff in Discord mentioned from time to time. Of course, it's a constant thing in the world itself. I just thought I'd show that graphic because it is shocking, isn't it?
It's
It is shocking.
interesting to me that the only ones who were able to, at least scale, really stop them were the ones who, and this is going to sound Hitlerian, but it's just the truth, the ones who had the most Aryanism left. The Westerners and the Indians seem to be the ones, well, at least the
They
northern
did
Indians,
stop its movement. That's
that
true.
stopped it.
They
Yeah,
did
they're the only ones who were able to resist it at a grand
stand up to
scale.
it
Even
and drive it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
even the Mongols, which was a similar plague. Uh, it was once they got to actual militaries, not jokes, they got stopped. They
Right.
couldn't. Just didn't work. It's kind of the same thing. Now the Muslims were, I would say, more successful, but they were fighting a much harder battle because the Mongols were going across basically wasteland comparatively. This is the heart of civilization that the Muslims were conquering. Much
Yeah.
harder to do. So,
Well,
but they did it. I mean, you can't say they
well,
didn't. They succeeded at
right,
what they were set out to do.
but speaking of Muslims, do keep in mind Tamerlane was buried with
Yep.
full Muslim attire and ceremony
Yep.
twice
Yep.
because the
So,
Russians dug him up. They found his tomb and they were doing historical stuff, and there was a curse put on his tomb if anyone should disturb it. And of course, that's when the Germans attacked, and Sulla said, "Bury that shit and do it right." And then they
yep.
won. So they said the Russians still believe that the Tamerlane curse is real. But anyway,
Maybe
that's
it is.
neither here nor there. Yeah, but I'm saying he was a
Maybe
Muslim
it is.
too. But do keep in mind this is quite different. Christianity was built inside of a community that already existed. Now there
Yes.
are plenty of other situations where religion has spread, but understand that map you just saw, that graphic you just saw. That is war.
That's right.
That is not
Direct
just
war.
religion
Jihad.
spreading. That is jihad. That is war. Every
Yes.
single movement you see there is war. Lots of people are dying as you see that graphic moving. The Christians, I use them as juxtaposition, right?
Hmm.
They had nothing going on like that.
No.
Nothing at all. It was not a religion of conquest. What it was really was it was political, and I've already talked about that. But you had
Hmm.
the mysticism, the old, animistic religion, mixed with the Gnostics, mixed with the Zoroastrians. Of course, Zoroastrians have modern day. A lot of people associate them with Christians, and fair enough. But
Hmm.
really, Zoroastrianism became Buddhism, right?
Yep.
And that's why there's so many familiarity between Christians and Buddhists is because of that. So
Well,
you have that
it's also
amalgam.
just because that underlying philosophy
Yeah.
is correct.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
just
good
correct.
philosophy. Yeah, it is.
It
Yeah.
works.
Be
What does
nice to
correct
each
mean?
other,
It works.
dude.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
does correct mean? It means it works. That's all correct ever means when we're talking about interpersonally. What works?
Live and
If
let
it
live, buddy.
works, then it's correct. Now, sometimes you can be correct, but not be long term correct. Like the Muslims would say, well, conquering people by the sword works. It does for a while, and
Oh
then it
yeah.
doesn't
It
anymore.
does work. But
Eventually, the people either get tired of it or something else happens. Uh,
yeah, but
and I think
it's like the progressives, the Democrats. It's a rule
yeah,
by fear.
that's right.
Always. And that's going to wear down your population eventually.
That's right.
Whereas Christianity or Hinduism or Buddhism, it's more uplifting and it allows
Yes.
the society to grow in other ways. Now we can see
My
the danger
favorite
of that
verse.
in modern time where we have all the freedom and everyone is turned into progressive idiots. But nothing's perfect.
My favorite Bible verse in all of Scripture, I don't know where it is. I bet if I say it, somebody in the chat will. I'm really bad at that, knowing the chapter and verse of a verse, but I know the words. Is God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That is the most, in my opinion, the most important Bible verse for anybody who already believes that there is. Because the enemy is not anything other than fear. Fear is the enemy. Don't be afraid. God says it's in the Bible over 365 times. It's the only phrase that is repeated that many times. Do not be afraid, or something very similar.
Mhm. Yeah.
Fear, living in fear,
Yeah,
rather,
fear is
not
bad.
the emotion, not the emotion of fear. We're talking about a spirit of fear, which would be living in fear. Right? You're afraid. That is the ultimate sin, in my opinion,
It is.
because
Yeah.
you should not do so. If you have faith, if you're afraid, then you're not having faith. You can't
Yeah.
have one without the other. You can't have both. You see what I'm saying? These are opposites.
Sure.
You can't have these two things together.
Yeah.
So if
And
you're afraid, you're not in faith. And
yeah.
Jesus says this multiple times. It's all throughout the Bible. Even Islam says things like this. But the difference is, in order to, and not always, but very often, in order to make sure that Islam is practiced the way these certain people want it to be practiced, or the way they believe the books say to, in many cases, they're just correct on that. The only way to do that is through fear. That's
Yeah,
not Christian, and it's
it
not
is.
godly. God is over and over says, "Don't be afraid.
That's
Don't
right.
be not even of him. He doesn't really want you to be afraid of. Don't be afraid. Don't
No,
be afraid."
the Jeebus, not the
Yeah.
Jewish Yahweh. He wants you to be afraid.
Yes.
Uh, but the interesting thing in regards when you wonder why these progressives, these Democrats, are in so much in bed with these Muslims. Well, dude, it's because they both rule from fear and tyranny. That's how they
That's right.
rule. It's Second
Birds of a
Timothy
feather.
1:7. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Birds of a feather. Uh, flock together, Chester. These people. That's why. It's the same reason why you had the fascists of different stripes all over the world team up during the Axis, and then you have it's the same exact thing. Why wouldn't you team up with the people who believe that your tactics are correct, even if they disagree with you ideologically or the end result? They're not gonna turn against you or in any way betray you directly via tactics because they have the same tactics, right? The devil you know type situation. So it makes sense to me. Because people ask why are they blah, blah, blah. No, it's because they're the same. They want to use the
They
same
have the
methods
same
or very similar
tactics. Yeah.
methods.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have the same
that's why they
tactics.
team up.
Now,
Makes sense.
understand, I'm not saying that there aren't Muslims out there who are good people and are and their faith is beautiful. There are. I'm not saying
Yes.
there aren't people who are progressives, even though I think they're a little misguided, that have good intention. There are. Matter of fact, a
Yes.
lot of the problem with the progressives or Democrats is that they have good intention, but it's couched in this their misunderstanding of their
Well, it's couched
bigotry
in fear. It's
and
couched in
fear.
fear.
That's right, but
Yeah.
also bigotry. I mean, they're constantly look. I mean, look at their arguments of late. Every single one of them have got up complaining about Trump cracking down on illegal immigration, and they keep saying, "Who's going to wash our dishes? Who's going to clean our ass?"
You
They're
evil people. Just
completely
evil.
oblivious.
Yes. To what they're actually saying. Like, do you hear
Yeah,
yourself? What you're saying? Well, if he gets rid of these people who shouldn't be here, I won't have slaves anymore.
yeah,
Well, wait a
it's
minute. Wait a minute.
it's insane,
Back up
right?
a second. Like, think about what you just said. Um,
They're
why?
incapable.
First of all, why would anybody want a slave class that isn't somebody who's going to take advantage of the slaves? That's the only reason you would want those people there. If your only argument is, well, who's going to do the hard labor? Well, it's the same argument the South made about slavery. Like
Yeah.
why you don't get well because who's going to pick our cotton? Who's going to pick our crops?
Well, it's going to
Um,
work. It's going to work out anyway,
think
because
so.
Oh yeah, robots are coming. And what's going to happen is all of that labor stuff eventually will be filled by the AI robot body,
Yep.
and it will get rid of the need for the low class worker.
Question is,
And
what do they do with them then?
well, this is
What does
what
the
my
elite do
point
with
to
them?
do it. So there's not going to be any more opportunity, no more money, and things, and the whole social programs cannot sustain themselves. They're already collapsing everywhere,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So what's going to happen is they're going to fall out and they'll migrate themselves elsewhere.
The only reason those programs haven't collapsed entirely is the hyper productivity of the American worker. That's it. That's what's propping it up
Right.
for the
And
last 80 years or whatever. And once the robots come in, and they're going to be even more productive once they get all the knots out because they're machines. So of course they're going to be. Um, there may be a small chance, depending on who's in charge of the country or the world. Well, really just America, to be honest. There may be a small chance that this is corrected because of the robots. And what I mean by that is
yeah, that's what I was saying.
they'll be so hyper productive that they might be able to save some of those social programs. But
Ah, maybe.
as as people are become so accustomed to this different lifestyle, because think about what's going to happen. You're going to have if you take away all menial labor and robots can do it all, which they probably will be able to very soon here in the next decade. What do those people do then? Do we like what do we do with these people? People are
Well,
like, well, they could be artists. They're all like 20, 30 million people, 40 million people are just going to be artists and they're going to
yeah.
make money that way. That's ridiculous. Of course,
Well,
it's not going to happen.
they're going to just throw more public programs on them, social
Right,
programs. But
right.
that will just force it to collapse because keep in mind,
It's just
inside
going to do what
America,
Rome did,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
collapse.
But
Yeah,
inside America, the blue states are parasiting and feeding off the red states, is what they're doing
right.
right
Well,
now.
the
It's
blue
been going on.
cities, the blue cities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, sure, that's the kind of concentration of it.
yeah.
But now keep in mind, Gavin Newsom, I've never seen a dude who lies more. It's shocking.
He's,
I mean, a
he's
lot of
pretty good
time,
at it.
well, they usually bend the truth or omit the truth, but he just makes up shit,
He
right?
just lies. Yeah,
Saying that, yeah, well, you do, and of course the Democrats repeat it. California produces and puts more into the American economy than any other state. No, dude, no,
Northern
you
California
don't.
does.
No, it doesn't even matter. In the end of the year, you're always in the red. You're
That's
always
right.
in the red, and America has to just flood you with frickin' federal taxes. You are
Right.
nowhere near the most productive. You burn it, dude. And I love
They
the fact that Trump is starting to cut away from their funding. And I really wish he just cut the whole damn state off. Every single penny. Shut them down. They get nothing from the federal government. Nothing.
you lose. Good day,
Please,
sir.
please. Oh, Gene.
I wish he'd shut it all down, but Trump likes to spend money. That's the only problem with Trump is he's not a conservative. He likes to spend money. He likes
He
he's
does.
kind of like he likes the idea of conservatism, but he also likes to spend money. So he's kind of in a
Yeah.
catch-22 situation for him.
Yeah, it's true. Well, you
Um,
see, he wants to give rebate checks, and it's like, no, dude, we don't need that.
yeah. I
We
mean,
don't
I'll
need that.
take it, but we don't need it.
No, we
If
don't
he's
need
gonna
that.
give it out, I'll take it. But no, we don't need it,
Yeah,
Trump. Please
bring,
do something else with it.
I would love to see in his term him cut the deficit in half, if not completely get rid of
Save
it.
that money and fight like hell to get rid of the income tax. Do
Yeah.
that, Donald, and you will die a god to the people of America.
Yep.
A god.
Yeah.
We will
He's
deify you like we did Washington. I am not kidding.
he's
We
done
will.
a lot to try already to try and knock on that. And the funny thing is, he gave the thing with no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security, which is dumb in and of itself. What the
Yes.
hell are you taxing Social Security for? That's stupid. Doesn't make any sense.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever
It
heard
is
in my
so
life.
dumb.
I was like,
Um,
what are we doing?
what are you doing? But anyway, then they came, of course, the Democrats and CNN and stuff, MSNBC. They came out complaining that, well, it only has a $25,000 limit, and it's like, well,
So, by
dude,
the way, I just want to be clear. So does everyone. The individual, I believe the individual, or maybe it's the couple. Regardless, the standard deduction is $24,000, 24.5,
something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah, so that's not even an argument. It's a nothing. That means nothing. Is
Yeah,
what you're
well,
saying.
the
You're saying
point,
nothing right now.
well, yeah, but they're being dumb because they're overlooking the fact that, well, that's thousands of dollars in their pocket they wouldn't have had.
Yes.
So what's the issue, dude? And of course, he's been pushing on a lot of other stuff, and they say it's not complete. It's not 100%. Well, baby steps. You know, reason why it's not 100% is because of freaking rhinos and Democrats. That's why it's not
Yes.
100%,
The
right?
system will not let itself be
No, it's going
corrected.
to take
So
time. Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna have to. Hopefully, I've said it since always, even back in 2016. Trump's not the guy to solve the problem, but Trump is the guy to point out the problem,
Yeah, and he's
and
got
he's
the
done
ball
that
rolling.
repeatedly.
Hmm.
Even the corrupt, even just the general political corruption of the agencies. No one's pointed it out better than him. Look at all the bullshit they put that man through for nothing. He's never done any of that shit. Everybody knows it. Why do we pretend like there's any credibility to any of the stuff they accuse him of? It's not. If it was, he would have got taken out.
Oh, you know
Period. A
the
long time
funniest
ago.
one? Yeah, I know that's true. But you know the funniest one for me is the whole Democratic shift on the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
And of course, we see now why. Because now we all know this. If
Yes.
they had access to that information for years and years,
Hmm.
and if
Hmm. Hmm.
during the just the Biden time, right? If they had even an inkling of information that made Trump look guilty, that would have been all over the news every day for 4 years. And we saw nothing. Matter of fact, the Democrats have been shockingly silent about the whole Epstein thing. And I wonder why. Well, you know, it turns out a lot of
Can't imagine.
Democrats are on that list. You know,
Can't imagine.
can't imagine.
Um,
But it's so dumb now that they're saying, well, maybe it could be, maybe possibly, maybe Trump's guilty. And it's like, well, if he was, you would have known and you would have been on about it. So shut the fuck up.
yep. Yep.
I mean,
No, he
honestly.
didn't do. He didn't touch. I don't think he did any of that stuff. His name's in those records simply because he knew Jeffrey Epstein and hung out with
And
him a little
besides,
bit every now and again.
his heyday of playing around with girls was in the 70s and 80s, dude. He didn't even know the guy yet.
Right.
That's when he was a
Exactly.
playboy and doing his thing. Because sure, he got married and he found a pretty girl and divorced her and married the other one. I mean, he did that. Women are his Achilles heel. But his playing around and running around was when he was younger, because it always is for all men. Let's see. The problem is when you go up in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, etc., like he is now, your libido isn't quite the same. So you kind
Yep.
of schedule those moments,
Mm-hmm.
you see.
Yep.
And yeah, So, but whatever. It's stupid. Let's move on.
Mhm. 1 second.
Yep. Now, the Fantastic Four. First steps review. Cool, cosmic, and mostly works. Now, I talked about it a little bit before. I just want to get into it a little bit more. Um, like I said, this is surprisingly normal. It's not woke. Everybody is exactly who they should be. And it's like I said, it's a fun 5.5, 6 movie, which is plenty good enough popcorn film. It looks good. There's no issues with this movie in general. Johnny Storm is Johnny Storm, although the actor they chose is kind of weird looking. But then again, I see what they did. They went with the horse face guy and the horse face girl. So if you look at the two Storm siblings, they do have a similar face structure. So good on for that casting, I guess. I would have been nice if Sue was a prettier girl, but it doesn't have to be. She's being portrayed as the mother here anyway. But
Mhm.
so Johnny is Johnny. Sue Richards is being what she always been, the absolute stone of the family, right? And
Yep.
that's what she should be. Reed is the genius that's working it out and finding solutions. And the thing is the big heart guy who's, always going around trying to do the right thing. So
He's lovable.
he's
That's what he
lovable.
is. He's lovable.
Yeah.
Lovable curmudgeon. The thing.
So no issues. And I mean, some of the most ardent anti Disney people, like, say, the critical drinker. But to be fair, he is far more fair than people give him
I think
credit for.
I think he's very fair. Actually,
He is.
he's one of the most
But
fair I've seen out there.
even he came out and said he liked it. It's a pretty good flick. I mean, it's not
Yep.
perfect, but then again, what movie is? But
Yep.
it's we talked about it already, but it is really interesting that this is nothing at all close to what they portrayed it to be. I mean,
Right.
you even have Johnny Storm womanizing in the movie,
Well, that's
Ugh,
ridiculous.
right?
Let's kick him out of humanity right now. Get him out of here.
Grimlock
My
says
only
Pascal's in it 0,
yeah, that's true.
right?
My only complaint that I've heard, and this is just logistically, and we know this. This isn't a spoiler or anything. This is like in trailers and stuff. They put this out. Is Franklin's in it, and that to me is terrifying. That
Yeah, it
they're even
is.
touching Franklin
Yeah,
Richards. Like, wait a minute, what are we doing, Marvel? Franklin's dangerous
he
because
is.
he is outrageously powerful. He's
Yeah, no,
very
he is,
dangerous.
and we'll see what they do with that because this movie is a success. And well, we'll go take a look at the numbers here in a minute. It is a success. People in general like it, so which is great. And so we will see more of this. We have had some backtracking because Pedro Pascal has come out and said that no, 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 that was a rumor about me being the leader of the Avengers, which is weird because that was a rumor put out from Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
So it's a weird rumor when the actual studio gives out a statement. That's usually, I don't know how about you, but in the English grammatic rule, that's not a rumor. That's a statement, an
Yes.
announcement.
Yeah, if the official place says, "Yay, we did this thing,"
Yeah,
that's the opposite of a rumor.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
not
the
how
opposite.
rumors work. Yeah.
But I think they're noticing the Pedro Pascal fatigue, which is real. And
Yes.
they had him come out and say, "No, no, no, I'm not in charge." Because keep in mind that whole Avengers Doomsday debacle.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know this. They are shooting, by the way, but
They are.
there's an interesting wrinkle in that. They don't have a script. I mean, like at all. There is
From what
no
I've
script
heard,
at all.
is you're right. They don't have an official final script. They're
They don't
playing.
even
They're just
have a
shooting it.
beginning of one.
They're shooting from the hip. But from what I've heard, is the directive is for Chris Hemsworth to be Thor, to be the main character or one of the main characters of Doomsday.
Which
Um,
doesn't make any sense. The Fantastic Four should be leading the way on that.
well, they probably will be, but it'll probably be like they're the newcomers to the Avengers type situation.
Hmm. I don't, and
And
I don't
then
know how they're going
maybe
to cross it over because this is an Elseworld film. This is an
yeah.
alternate Earth. They're not. This is not the MCU.
Well, maybe that's where Franklin comes in. He could do it.
Um, he
He could
could.
cross it over easy.
That's true.
Uh, the only because Franklin's a problem. This is why it's such a problem. I have no problem with Franklin Richards as a character. I think Franklin's cool, but he's so powerful that to just have him around, you got to write around that. You got to give me a reason why he doesn't just solve the problem because he wants to. You got to. I get he's a baby here, so fine, but he's here, right? He's eventually not going to be a baby.
Why?
Um, so you gotta start writing around this problem, and they typically do well in the comics by making him more of a plot device than anything. Not always, but
Sure, because
usually.
it's what he is. Yeah.
Yes. So if they can use him to do exactly what we just said, bridge
Well,
these universes, basically.
right.
Uh,
And they could easily do that.
okay.
He is a plot device in this movie, by the way.
Yes.
Galactus gives an ultimatum: either you give me
He
the
wants him.
baby or eat the Earth. Either way, you choose.
I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
pretty fair options he's giving you. I
Yeah.
take the kid or I kill all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And of
pretty
course,
simple.
they get a lot of flack from public saying sacrifice the one for the many. Of course,
Right.
Spock would do it instantly because we know
Yep.
he's the man. But it puts them in a serious situation, and their popularity wanes, which is exactly how humans would react. So it's good. Booster
Yep.
says going to anxiously touch all the ladies in the theater when Galactus comes on screen. We call that Booster. We call that boob Tourette's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Pascalin. We're Pascalin it up.
Pascal and the boob
Uh,
Tourette's. Yeah.
no, I'm glad that it's a fine film because it means we've won. It means we've won. They tried for what, half a decade to make it as woke, as bullshitty as possible. Marvel did. They
They
did. You
did.
can't. Nobody can sit here and say they didn't, and it failed. It failed utterly. It failed so completely they lost billions of dollars. So we've won. The fact that it's a normal movie is a sign, yet again, that they've lost, and they know it. Now they haven't. Like I said at the start, the reason the marketing hasn't caught up is because the marketing is patient zero. This whole thing was a marketing ploy. All of it. The reason why all these companies embraced wokeism, as we call it now, embraced all this identity politics, all this stuff. The reason they did that is because they were convinced by marketing people that it would make them more money. That's why they did it. Now, some of them at the top of the chain, they had ulterior motives, but most companies did not. They just were following the trend or what they thought was a profitable trend. And they were getting money from the US government through USAID, but we'll leave that alone. Um, so the reason why they all adopted it wholesale is because they were following that what they thought was a positive trend. Now that it's been proven that it is an absolute brand, a mark, a black mark on you to be labeled woke on anything you're putting out, and it just kills it. and it's done it multiple times, they don't have a choice but to adapt, even if they don't want to. So it's a great sign that this movie, which a lot of us were very afraid was going to be woke as hell, seemingly by all accounts, is not at all. There's nothing in it you would even, not even a hint of it besides the chick Silver Surfer. But in fairness, they're not wrong. Silver Surfer has been a chick long before this movie was conceived. Uh, so it's not the end of the world if that's the
Right.
case.
Well, keep in mind one of the things that they changed clearly, because this guy's talking about it and I heard it myself, because they did tons of research for this movie, and I think they reshot the entire third act because I
Mhm.
think it was going to be super woke. But actually, what one of the main things they did change was that uh, the female Surfer was supposed to die, and Galactus destroys the world, and the Fantastic Four escape to the 616 universe. That was the initial thing. They failed, and they escaped into the MCU's main universe, 616, from
Mhm.
theirs. But they changed that. Now the post credit scene in Thunderbolts doesn't make any sense at all, and they've completely locked it into a standalone film. So how are they going to streamline that into their Avengers Doomsday, which is maybe another reason why they had Pedro come out, because he's a company man, and say that, oh, no, no, I'm not the leader of the Avengers, because maybe we're not going to see them at all.
Well, the first, because these next Avengers movies are two-parter, right? So you have Doomsday and then Secret War, or is it Secret War and then Doomsday? Which
I
way
don't
is
know.
the? I don't remember.
Can't say I
But
care much, to be honest with you.
well, the reason why I'm asking is because it just really depends. Obviously, the main idea is for Doctor Doom to be the big bad. Um, it just depends. There's a lot of ways you can finagle them in, maybe in the middle of the movie or whatever. And maybe Doomsday, maybe Doctor Doom is being the big bad through the first half of the film, and then they don't have an answer for him. He just keeps kicking their ass, basically, and that's when the Fantastic Four shows up as the answer for him.
Maybe. Well,
Um,
you know the interesting thing that keeps bugging me. Vanessa Kirby is not a pretty woman, but she does pull off mom look really well, and that's what she's
yeah,
supposed to
she's all
be.
right.
So rock on.
She's,
But I
she's
don't know
very
why it's bugging
elfish.
me. But Johnny Storm is an ugly son of a bitch, dude. Why?
Yeah, he's not handsome.
It's just bugging me. I
Um,
don't know why. I don't think I've ever seen a male character and I was like, why is he so ugly? Because Johnny is a ladies' man. That's his thing. He's handsome and he loves the ladies and they love him. That's an ugly ass dude. Am I wrong?
no, he's not attractive. He's not a handsome guy.
And he's balding.
Uh, I don't know why they decided to pick this gentleman when there were other people that were right there who, I mean, they even went with a blonde guy still. So I don't know why.
Right.
There's
I
other
mean,
there's other blonde male actors who are very handsome who could have played Johnny Storm, no problem.
yeah,
But for
it's
some reason
weird.
they went with this guy.
He's already combing forward. Already.
Yes.
Although I like I said earlier, their horse faces do kind of match. They do look like brother and sister. They do. I don't know why it's bugging me. It's bugging me. And of course, Pedro is a handsome fella, and he can act. He's just annoying. And
Well, he's camera handsome. The camera loves him.
yeah, no,
When
that's
you
true.
see it, when you I've never seen him in person, but I've heard of people who say he doesn't look the same in person. He's one of those guys. The camera just for whatever reason loves his face. It's just some people are like
Yeah,
that.
some
They're
people
very
photogenic.
photogenic.
And one of my favorite Pedro Pascal movies is Equalizer 2.
Big fan of it.
He's pretty good in that. He's a good nemesis. Um, it is interesting the way that his career has been extremely varied, but people are kind of getting annoyed of him just because he is annoying. But then again, even for people who aren't annoying, like say Chris Pratt, where people getting a little bit of pushback at him, I guess fatigue is fatigue. But then again, Chris Pratt is smarter than this guy because Chris is kind of taken, he backed up a bit,
Yeah.
right?
Take a
Stop.
breather.
He did. He stopped taking so many roles. Of course, he had to do Jurassic World because that's his franchise. But a matter of fact, what I don't even know, is he in the most recent
No, I
one?
don't think I don't think he is. I
Yeah,
don't think he's
so
in it at
he's
all.
backed up. He's backed up. He's enjoying his family, and I'm sure in a year or two we'll see him again. I'm sure. But he's being a little smarter. Pedro needs to take a step back. Because, and of course, he is a wokey. It says
To
dumb
be
things.
Trey Boucher into space.
Okay, we could do that.
I'm tired of seeing that faggot.
Space trebuchets. Well, yeah, he is a
Well,
homosexual man.
he keeps doing the touching the women's thing, and I think he's going to get himself in some trouble. He don't calm down because it's really weird.
It is
It's
creepy.
really obvious.
I've seen several
and it's
videos of different women.
creepy.
Yeah, it's weird.
It only takes
You-
one
you- you
woman
know what?
with any kind of clout to complain, and that's it for him.
Yeah.
Because there's too much evidence that
But
he's
you know what?
a creep, a touchy-feely creep.
But you know what? It's the women that like this insufferable faggot. That's why he keeps getting work. For some reason, whenever I hear people talk about him being a great actor, it's mostly fucking women. But then again, it's mostly fucking women is why you got damn men playing women's sports. So
That's
yeah,
also very true.
That is true. Although, like I said, I've seen him in a couple of films. I thought he was fine. Grimlock. I mean,
he's in popular shit. That's it. Everybody has this aura that he's a great actor. He's just been in.
No, he's not a
shit.
great actor, but he is a serviceable one.
He can perform the
He
task.
can. He can do what he needs to do. But he's insufferable. I'm not disagreeing with you. He is insufferable. And I wish he'd just come out already. I mean, Jesus, dude. This is like the perfect moment in time to come out. I mean, you know.
Very obviously homosexual.
Yeah.
No, it's the fatigue on him is real. I've had it since frickin' way back. Like I've never been one of these people who've been on his train. I never understood the appeal. I don't get it. But I understand that, like, and Grimlock's correct. It's largely women.
It is. He says the right thing, and he's a company man, so that's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And he like
no,
we were saying,
women love
camera handsome. He's camera handsome.
He is not. Women love effeminate men. That's it. They love the concept of effeminate men. They don't like, for some reason, they love that shit in concept. That's why a lot of Hollywood faggots have excelled the way that they have.
Sure. Grimlock coming hot today. He's angry.
He's upset.
Yeah.
He's a little volatile.
No,
we like that.
But he's not wrong. So I get it. Yeah.
It's one of the things that drives me nuts is the effeminate men thing with women. I never understand it. It's so because they don't though. They won't have sex with those men. They want them around, but they won't sleep with those men
because they consider them
safe.
That's
what I said.
Yeah.
They know. That's why I said they love the concept of effeminate men. Oh, they'll watch it. They'll watch Pedro Pascal. They will not marry a man like Pedro. If there was a heterosexual man who acted like Pedro Pascal, they'd call him a pedophile.
Sure.
They don't want
of course they would.
That's the hilarious part of it all.
Grimlock, I think what it comes down to is that women can't trust themselves around an actual man.
That's true.
I think that's the problem.
It's just like retarded.
Now they'll say that, real men are predatory. Well, we are predators, I suppose, but no, it's you. It's all
Apex. Apex, baby.
No, it's all them though. It's all them. 100%.
We're kings of this shit. We kill everything and eat it. We don't care.
That's right.
We'll eat it all. Apex.
We hunt in your name, and you can't call us anything but. So
that's true.
Deal with it, women.
That's true. Anyway, so shockingly, normal movie. Like I said, it seems to be about 5.5, 6. And
that's worse.
Little popcorn flick.
The worst thing this movie could be was decent. Because that means Disney's not going to learn a single fucking thing.
Well, no, you would think that the opposite would be true because they backed up and found success. So, results in the pudding type of thing.
I don't think they're going to learn. I just think they don't have a choice. I think they were at the point where they were losing so much money that legally they had to adjust. It wasn't a question of what they wanted to do. They didn't have a choice. They were about to get hit with all sorts of lawsuits from their shareholders.
Here's why. Because one, it keeps Kevin Feige employed, and he needs to go. That's number one.
Well, fair.
He does.
Number two, they're going to fuck up the X-Men now. That's 100% guaranteed. If you thought so before, this movie being what it is, and it even being remotely successful, guarantees X-Men's going to be fucked up.
I think
anybody who's holding out hope that they'll get it right, this movie guarantees that they do it wrong.
You know what I think they should do moving into the X-Men era? I think they should replace Kevin Feige with Mel Gibson.
And let it all be about Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Make him the main
That'll
character.
never
Yeah,
happen.
Dude, that would be
yeah.
so awesome though, wouldn't it?
I love me some Nightcrawler. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters in
well-
fiction. I love Nightcrawler.
Anyway, talking about Disney's potential future, which we don't know and we're certainly skeptical, let's move into something that is juxtaposed to it, shall we?
Juxtaposition, if you will. Trump saved Star Trek, Paramount, CBS. He
No.
saved them. Came on in with the white horse. Snatched them
Let's-
up like a damsel.
Let's put this down. The deal is done. They did pass it because CBS capitulated, gave Trump his money for their slander.
Which
They
he
also
was
got
owed.
rid of Stephen Colbert.
Paid what
and-
they owe.
Yeah, and Skydance has very vocally and openly made various statements that DEI is dead, 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 and they are going back to what works. So
Making
here
money.
we have a company that now has been bought and is trying to reverse its fortunes by running as far and as quick away from DEI as it can.
Good.
Now, I don't know what we'll see for a future because the
Well-
important factor is this. Let me get this out real quick, Grimlock. The important factor is this. Sure, DEI is annoying, but the real most important thing you have to do is, make a good movie.
That's number one. Got to start there.
Number one.
Start in the kitchen, make the food edible. That's what you got to do first.
Go ahead, Grimlock.
Before you add the accoutrement.
Well, the thing about the DEI, that's probably bullshit because most of these companies who's already on the DEI train has pivoted to bridge and other things, other
Yep.
language. People, I hope somebody is informing Trump that the DEI thing is basically the modern day Hydra in the business world. They just
Probably.
call it a different name. You cut the head off. There's two more that appear. Because before DEI, they was calling it other shit.
They have always had it.
So,
But if it can come back to what it used to be, it would be fine.
The real heart of the Hydra is the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to talk
No,
about that
that's
at that
true.
level.
Well, you can even go
Yeah,
back to
that-
McCarthy if you wanted to. But no, civil rights was, and the whole welfare state introduction, the whole civil right thing, actually absolutely blew it out of the water. I mean, we talk about all the crap that the Democrats have done to the minorities in this country with slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, et cetera, et cetera. All the bad things that have happened to minorities in America comes from the Democrats, all of it. But the worst thing they ever did was create welfare, by far. And of course, if you said this when I was a kid, everyone would get mad at you. Like, no, it's a great thing. We have freaking 60 years of evidence. It was the worst damn thing we ever did.
Catastrophe. is the word.
Catastrophe. Absolute
Catastrophe.
catastrophe.
Yep. And people
Yeah.
were telling them back then too. They just didn't want to listen. Like, this
No.
ain't gonna work. This is gonna be a disaster.
Just like back with women's suffrage.
Yep.
The people
It
who
was
gave
mostly women
it
telling
was
them. Like,
mostly
no, this is
women
a
that
bad
were pushing
idea.
against it.
It's a bad idea.
But the men were like, well, they asked, as we always do, and gave it to them. Because
Well,
men
and they thought
are
they
the
were going
problem.
to get laid. They thought it was
Well,
going to help
that's
them
true.
get laid.
That is
Yeah,
fair.
because
That
men
is
are
fair.
real. It's true. Women say it a lot, and we always be like, "Oh no, that ain't true." Not guys,
it's
come
true.
on. We're led by the head of our dick. We all know
We
we
are.
are.
We are.
Why are we pretending?
It is what it is. But
Yeah.
anyway, Paramount Skydance is saying the right things. Grimlock might be 100% true and correct. But at least they're making the outward appearance attempt. And the simple fact of the matter is, with this merger, the only thing I care about is the resuscitation of Star Trek. That's
Preach it.
all I care.
Say it to the heavens.
Yeah.
Cry out to God that He brings me back my Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, is it
You
fire
give me, you
Kirkman?
give me another decade. You give me another decade of good Star Trek, and I can die a happy man.
hmm
I could.
Yeah.
The '90s, that whole run, the late '80s through the early 2000s. We'll say 15 years. It's really longer,
Yep.
but we'll
All
say
the way up to
15,
Enterprise.
was just mwah,
Yeah, it was
great television. Great movie. I like the movies too. I know a lot of people shit on some of them. I like them all. They're none of them
No,
are
I do.
necessarily the greatest thing ever, but I
No,
can watch them
they're
all.
fun.
Turn it on, I'll
Um,
watch it. It's fine.
no.
Even Nemesis, I'll watch it. It's shit, but I'll watch it.
the collapse began with J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
It did.
Well, I would say the collapse began with Nemesis. To be honest, that was really a bad movie. They shouldn't have made it. But JJ is what turned it from what it was into this bullshit.
Well,
that
that's
it's
what I
into.
mean. The shift to this DEI thinking. Now, Booster puts up here and he says, not with Alex Kurtzman, you're not getting it. Well, that's the question. If we say after this merger that Alex Kirkman, who is Bad Robot Boy, he's J.J. Abrams' boy, if he's still involved, then Grimlock's 100%
Sure.
correct. Yeah.
Yep.
If
But he's got to go.
if they get the guy who did Picard season 3 as the head, then maybe you got some
I
hope.
think it was a chick, wasn't it?
No,
Maybe I
because
could be wrong.
wasn't a guy. I think he was like from Sons of Anarchy or something like that. I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, it was one of the leads or the lead producers or whatever you want to call it from Sons of Anarchy. I think you're correct on that. The truth of the matter is, there's plenty of people out there who could take over Star Trek today and turn it back into what we want it to be: insightful, aspirational, beautiful. Instead of divisive and mean-spirited and too modern, and we don't need a bunch of cuss words in Star Trek. It's just vulgar. We don't need
No,
that.
it's
That's not what
they
Star
missed
Trek's
the
about.
they missed the idea
Yeah.
completely. You're right. I do have a question for our resident black man, though,
Uh-oh.
if I may. I see the absolute worst, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the absolute worst thing in America right now are black women, right? Ghetto black women.
Yeah,
Thing.
The worst thing. And
I
they're
mean,
always
it sounds fucked up, but he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not,
But
he's good.
they constantly screaming racism. They are radically, some of them are just prejudiced, but a lot of them are just full on racist. And they always go on about all this stuff. And of course, you see this Michael Burnham character that has the cornrows. What would you call that? Weave cornrow. What do you call that? What do you call that?
Braids.
Braids.
And it's funny
Now-
because they only decided to make her look like a woman when they knew the show was getting canceled, because she looked rough those first few seasons.
Yeah, that is true. However, my question is this: they keep going on and on about it, but do they not? Do these black ladies in America not understand with their hair hats and their weave that they're basically wearing Asian women's hair?
Or horse.
Like,
Yeah.
well,
Or
I'll say this: like modern Western women, black women are delusional as fuck. Black women have a special section of the delusional section of the world where they want to think that they are they're more special than everyone else, and it's like, bitch, sit
that's
down.
the racism
You work at
comes in.
Target.
Yeah.
Your jets.
Well, no, there's some real
do.
racism, but I mean it's out of control. And we've had several black leaders who have come out over the past decade and are trying to help the black community, like Tommy Sotomayor, Officer Tatum. Who was that life guide guy who passed away? He was pretty good.
Kevin
Kevin
Samuels.
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 They're not interested. They're not. But the problem is they're not interested in listening to men.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there are.
Here's the fucked up thing. You want to know the fucked up thing?
Yeah.
Black women will probably accept it, hearing it from you over hearing it from a black man.
Probably no. That's a problem, isn't it?
It's
It is a
It's
problem.
probably why black women like me so much, because I just tell them the truth, and they can't handle it from, like, they can handle it. They won't handle it from their own men.
Well, the problem with the black ladies I always
fuck.
had, they're always touching the bulge, man. You can't keep their hands off it.
Yes. See, Chester and I have had a shared experience. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
Yeah.
chill
Look,
out.
we've already explained this. Kaiju over there. You're big, tall. You play the saxophone. You got a bulge, apparently. What are you
Well, his
expecting?
pants are tight. That makes it easy.
See,
Right.
and you're a former
Skinny
bouncer.
jeans.
You're supposed to. First of all, you're a bouncer. You're supposed to know how to handle it. You're supposed to put that red rope around it and make them pay $25.
I do. I did.
He monetized it.
I monetized it. No, but I mean, I'm half joking. But over here in Japan, I have a lot of old, I mean, really old ladies that like to touch my butt. Yeah, I don't know what that's
Yeah.
about. But no, when I was a
Well,
bouncer, dude, the black ladies would intentionally rub up against my dick or touch
Yeah.
it intentionally all
Yeah.
the time, dude. I'm not shitting you. No other women did
Been
that
there.
unless I
Been
invited
there.
them to do so. Right? Well, there were a couple of the stripper prostitutes that did, but they're stripper prostitutes. But no, black ladies always want to rub up on your dick, dude. I'm telling you.
yeah,
So you know,
they
which
was in Hunt of Kaiju.
they were in Hunt of the Kaiju. They were. You're right. But it is really interesting, though, how radical women in general in America have become incredibly progressive and noisy and Karen-esque. But
And
the
whorish.
and whorish. That is true. But black ladies, man, and I know it isn't all. Shut up. But my God, dude, what the fuck, dude? They're the most belligerent thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty wild.
Yes,
Pretty wild.
when you tell people that you're never wrong,
Yeah.
that's and a lot of that's because of all the male bashing that they have grown up and seen. Because you
Probably.
tell everybody, oh, everything's the fault of men. We wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have that if it weren't for men.
That's not accurate.
It's
But
like,
go ahead.
okay, yeah, well, I mean, that's what we had.
Well, no,
Look, I mean,
statistically, historically, female leaders are much more likely to go to war than male leaders. You know,
yeah,
the
and
facts are
cause
quite clear.
collapse.
Yeah.
And
But
cause
anyway,
collapse.
that has nothing to do with anything.
Don't let reality interfere with you.
Now you're
That's true.
being
Delusion.
ridiculous.
That's true.
Bringing
But
facts into
you know,
this argument.
but the funny thing is about what I see when I'm talking about these, ghetto black ladies. I get that. It doesn't matter their age. They can be
No.
12 or they could be 82. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They're just radically racist and belligerent, dude. It's like, Jesus,
Yeah.
man.
Because they've, over the last 15, 20 years, they've taught, oh, black people can't be racist because of some nonsense of white. Ironically, when it comes to racism, they hate white people, but they'll listen to stupid shit like white liberals say, like, oh,
Yeah.
you can't be racist because you don't have institutionalized power. And
Yeah,
like,
but do you know
how
where that came
stupid
from? Do you know where that came
are
from?
you?
You know where that came from?
Jews.
Fucking communists. That's where that fucking
Well, sure.
came
But no, that
from.
particular statement came from a Merv Griffin show with Louis Farrakhan.
Of course.
Yeah.
Old Louis.
Yeah.
No, it's obviously
They're
BS.
making an Emperor Doom action figure. Holy shit.
Nice.
That
Nice.
is.
I need more Doom in my life.
We do. Well, of course, I wish it were real Doom, not Tony Stark, who just decided to be bad, which pisses me off. But anyway, I let half full, half empty. Let's be positive, shall we? Maybe we'll see a little bit shift, because if Paramount does what Disney just did with the Fantastic Four, where it's just kind of normal, that's a swing up.
Yes. So right direction.
I'm only happy for
directionally.
for the South Park dudes. They just because of that deal going through, they just made a cool $1.5 billion.
They did, and of course that's with Paramount as well, Skydance as well. And I love the fact that so
Wait a
many.
minute. Wait a minute. I thought Trump was petty
No,
because they just
Trump.
shit all over him in their last episode, right? But yeah, then he made sure this deal got signed off on and made them billionaires.
Yeah, but it was
Wait a minute.
funny though.
Oh, so he's not a Machiavellian, mustache twirling tyrant.
No, I mean, I guess
Interesting.
can be petty, but that's not. He usually doesn't get. I mean, this
I
guy
don't-
gets
see,
so
that's
much
the thing.
flack. How could he be petty? He'd be
But
dead.
there's a
He'd had a freaking coronary, dude.
Exactly. The difference between being petty and being vindictive is Trump. Petty people wouldn't let anything go. Trump will let stuff go until it becomes too much. He has his limit, and once you hit that limit, he's going to destroy you. He's going to come at you with everything he's got, but he will give you unbelievable chances to do the right thing. Look at what he's been doing with overseas and all these people and how they've been fucking around. How many times, in fairness to him, how many times has he warned Iran they need to stop fucking around? A dozen,
and
at least,
Israel
since he's been president again. Yes,
he's giving them
stop
shit too.
fucking around.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Go ahead,
He's
Grimlock.
given them so much rope to hang themselves with. That's all.
If Trump was the tyrant that they say he was, Rosie O'Donnell's ugly ass would have met the firing squad.
Yes, he would have
Day
launched her
one.
into the
That's
sun.
true.
You would
That's
need a
true.
really big catapult, but he could have
That
found
is
one. He
true.
could have.
Speaking about trebuchet.
And-
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what would have happened to the View, because that's the only way you get Whoopi's big ass out that seat.
That's true. But no, I mean the whole South Park thing. It was funny. I mean,
it's
you
funny.
know, those guys bust everybody's chops. Everybody.
Well, they're also just funny.
And it's
They're
funny.
good at what they do. They're good
Yeah.
at what they do.
And-
They are good at what they do.
They are. And the thing is, it's not the first time they busted Trump's balls. I mean, come on, dude.
No, of course.
What are
not.
you on about? And of course, it is MAGA that's pushing back. But it's like, well, dude, they have been absolutely digging into the woke progressives for frickin' the entire decade it's been going on hard. South Park has been at everybody, and they've made a lot of fun of a lot of itch. I love the Macho Man Randy Savage transgender joke.
It's so good.
It's funny.
It's so good.
It's funny.
They also
That's
have
the one
apparently
that-
a new episode, or it might not be. I don't know if it's out yet or not. I haven't kept up with it, but they have one where Cartman's upset because everybody's racist and sexist now, and he doesn't feel special anymore. Like Matt and Trey, for all their faults, and I'm sure there are many, they do have a very good pulse for what's happening. They stay on it.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to watch how they've been able to evolve, because their show's so stupid. It's so dumb.
It is.
But they've been able to keep that dumb little show going for 27 seasons, I think they're on now.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
That deal, you're going to get at least 10 more.
Yeah.
Well, because people like it. It's funny. You know, The Simpsons and The Family Guy are still going, although they're not what they used to be, but it's still going.
Hell no.
Booster just wants us to know that he's not here to talk about his transition. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, they were on the weird tranny stuff long before anybody else was. Long before they were.
Oh yeah, that whole season with Mr. Garrison being Miss
Yes.
Garrison. Holy shit!
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the poop episode. K, who pooped in the urinal? Who made the giant dookie? It was hilarious. But anyway,
So
stupid.
Pardon me, boys.
Pardon me, boys. Yes. But this right here, I just put in for a thing. Go ahead.
Masters of the Universe title reveal, logo, and theme music teased. Hey, Matt, actually, that's proper formatting, Matt. Look at you.
Good
you
job.
Can do it.
Good job.
Good
now,
job, Matt.
I don't care. They have beaten Masters of the Universe to death. I don't really give a shit. Here's your logo. But here's a little bit of a clip, and here's your boy from the back end.
I mean, if that's him, he looks good.
It looks fine, whoever this is.
Yeah.
But this is the problem. Let me read this to you here. This is the plot. Okay. 10-year-old Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth in a spaceship, was separated from his magical power sword, the only link to his home on Eternia. After tracking it down almost 2 decades later, Prince Adam is whisked back across space to defend his home planet against the evil forces of Skeletor. But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Now, my problem with this is, why, when they make live-action movies in Masters of the Universe, do they always have to put him on Earth? Now, yes, his mother is an Earthling. I get it. But why do they always do this?
Her story in reverse.
Yeah, they did the first one in reverse. You're right. Yeah, you're right. But why do they feel it necessary to put him on Earth? He's not an Earth hero. He's an Eternian.
Right. He's a cosmic hero.
It's this retarded thing about relatability. You gotta make him relatable.
But he still looks human.
Probably some fat white woman in marketing who said that shit.
Yep,
Yeah.
telling you, the marketing departments, that's the issue. That's where the problem is. It's where the rot originates from. No, it's stupid. It's
It
silly.
is stupid.
It's a very 90s thing to do, right? Well, we're going to use this franchise. We're going to change core elements of it, though, because it'll be better. Trust us.
He
It
is
never
proper
was.
Jack, though, this guy.
Yeah, if that's the guy, which I'm assuming it is, doesn't look bad. Doesn't
Yeah.
look
Oh no,
bad.
he got in shape. The guy got in shape for it. Like,
I don't know who he is. But let's see here.
Nicholas Galitzine? That's an interesting name.
Jared Leto as Skeletor. That'll probably work just fine.
As long as he's just, the voice of it. He doesn't need to be. I don't ever need to see Jared Leto's face. I'm
So
fine with never seeing his face.
Idris Elba as Man of Arms, of course, race swap, which means Tila must be a black girl too. But Idris is a good
which
actor.
means I'm not watching this movie.
Yeah, they of course.
Camilla Mendez. Look her up. She might not be.
No,
Camilla Mendez.
how could she not be? It's her daddy.
Listen, Chester, come on. Now you're thinking way too logically here, bud. You know you are.
Wow, this skinny little boy really put himself out there. You go, dude.
He's got the jaw, though. I'll give him. He's got the jaw.
He does.
So you
but
get some muscle on him, he'll pull it off.
no, he did. We can see the muscle right there. It's right here. I mean, he's clearly good for you, dude. Good for you. Let's see here with this Camila Mendez. Sounds Latino, of course, but
It does sound like a Latina lady. Let's see. Let us see.
okay. Now this is stupid.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she's attractive, but I mean, your daddy is Idris Elba. Excuse me.
Listen, maybe she's adopted. I don't know. They're gonna pull a twist. What a twist! Or maybe they just really needed Idris Elba. Like, you know what? We want some Idris.
Technically, she is because she's the daughter of the sorceress. So you're saying that the sorceress is Latina?
I mean,
Well, I can check. I have the name.
More hot Latinas
if-
on my screen
because
won't
if-
make me mad. I don't know about you.
Because if she's not, then the shit doesn't work.
Well,
'cause the
she's
whole
Italian.
point is
She's Italian.
So she
Stupid.
probably looks similar, right?
Yeah.
Similar
Oh, let's check.
complexion.
It's still
Let's see.
weird, dude. You know, I have no trouble with Idris. I mean, he's a good actor.
Idris is a good dude. He's a good man. You seem, by all accounts, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I could believe that.
Oh, it's
somehow.
this hottie. It's this hottie. Oh yeah, she's a hottie too. Dude.
More hotties. Listen, we're gonna get more hotties. I don't care about the. It's a Masters of the Universe movie. I don't care about the logic here. I get hot women. I'll take them.
Yeah.
Because they could have gave us a bunch of uggos, boys. They could have gave us uggos.
She is smoking, dude. She is smoking.
Yeah. She's not bad.
Well,
not bad at
race
all.
swaps still happen. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
I
the-
get
I
you.
love the commitment.
I get you.
I love the
but,
commitment.
I mean, you know, like I said, we got we got Nick Fury with Samuel L. Jackson, and no one hated it.
Maybe
You
they'll
know.
put him in whiteface. You know.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll put him in whiteface.
Anyway,
Which sucks because Idris probably will make a great Man at Arms.
I'm sure he will.
Like
He's
as
a
an
good
actor, he probably will do a fantastic job.
Booster has given us a soliloquy. Let me see here. He says it's an exposition thing. They use fish out of water, so a character gets an opportunity to ask, "What does this do?" So the other characters can tell them. Maybe, with the Mario movie, they made Mario come to the Mushroom Kingdom from Earth, so all the characters in the Mushroom Kingdom can tell audiences how things work. Eric says. Tila is Hispanic. She played Veronica in Riverdale. That means nothing to me. Booster continues, or like the Sonic movie, he came to Earth from his planet so he could meet human characters who aren't familiar with what he is. He's an echidna or a hedgehog. What he does, so they can ask and it can be explained to the audience. Maybe. Okay. David Simpson. I wonder if he's related. Okay, I'm in. We should support it just for the hot women, or we might get the uggos back. No, I agree, because those are hotties.
I like the hot.
Those
I
are
like
real
the hot
hotties.
women.
Real hotties.
Give me more hot women, Hollywood.
Yeah.
I know they're out there. I see them.
On one
I
hand,
see them on the street.
On one hand, he has a point. On the other hand, fuck race swaps. So no,
No, true. Now, to be fair, this girl is nowhere near as hot as her mama.
But she's one of those chicks that you put the right stuff on her, she'll look a lot better. You know what I
Probably
mean?
it
Like
depends. And Tila's
when
supposed to be a
in
warrior
costume,
anyway.
I think she'll look real nice. She'll
She
pull it
is
off.
fit. She is fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's
She
nowhere
has to
near
be.
as.
She was part of the royal guard.
But I like me
Yeah, but that right
Regina's
there is
just
a real hottie, though. This right
yeah,
here,
that's a genuinely beautiful woman.
and
She's
she's
beautiful.
older too, and she's got babies. I know that.
She's got them good genes, as we started off with.
She
She's got
does.
them good genes.
Yeah. Do you have good genes, Grimlock?
No,
No.
they're
Fair
fuck
enough.
awful.
Yeah.
Fuck awful.
Fair enough.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, I meant the other one. Sonic is a hedgehog, but there are echidnas in there, and there's a fox too.
Sonic the Echidna, yes.
Yes, David, smoke show. She is
Yeah.
a smoke show. She's mega hot.
That's a good look.
And
That's a
she
good
this
looking
is an
woman.
older woman that still looks really good. So and she is playing the sorceress,
Especially
so it'd be great.
that third picture there. Woo. Woo.
Yeah, no, she's very beautiful, always been, and she's very down to earth too. She's not an ass.
Yep.
She's not a
They
Hollywoodite at all. She's
usually
normal,
are when they're
married
beautiful.
lady
Yeah.
with kids. She's very normal. Matter of fact, she's happy to make little dirty jokes here or there. No problem.
Love it.
As I've seen her do an interview with Craig Ferguson a couple times, and
Craig brings it out of him though, because he knows how to flirt.
he
He's very good
does,
at it.
but she had a good fun time, and so did he. But anyway, let's move along here. I just want to put that up because why?
If you
People.
ever want to learn how to flirt effortlessly, go watch everything of that show when he's talking to women, and you'll just do what he does. He gets
No,
it.
he knows how. He knows how. But anyway, this is our last story for today.
Evil Dead Burn begins filming in New Zealand. Now, Patrick, come here, Patrick. Come sit down. I need you to come sit down. That's not how we format a headline. What's the name of this film? Is it Evil Dead Burn begins?
Yes.
I'm confused.
No, it's Evil Dead
Because-
Burn, comma.
Yes. Yes. Put the comma in there. I get it. Obviously, it's Evil Dead Burn is the name of the movie. But that's not how we format things, sir. That's not how we do it. Format it correctly, please. If I was his editor, he'd be coming back with that comma, or it wouldn't be on the website.
Yeah.
I like in here with that comma.
I like the timing clicker here that they use. They have this
That's
little
nice.
image. It's kind of nice. I love the art on it. Now, I put this up here because the last movie was in New Zealand as well, and it had that guy who did the was it I can't remember. It's that Spider movie, but
Sam Raimi.
no,
That one?
I'm talking about the last movie that came out.
Oh,
Evil
I
Dead
don't even
Rise.
remember it.
It wasn't bad. Now it was an entire female cast. They certainly, and which is not necessarily a problem, but it was an all-female cast for the most part. They had an elevator scene which they desperately needed to have Ash break in and be part of the last act. It would have been funny and it would have been great. Callback cameo. But nevertheless, it was pretty good. Visually, this director, he's pretty good. Here it is, Infested. There it is. Sebastian Vanek. And of course, I showed you the clapboard. But the last movie was pretty good. It had good pacing. It looked great. This guy has a wonderful visual style. And the movie Infested looks great too. He's got a good feel for horror. And it was a pretty good movie. So we're getting another one. And the last one did make 147 million globally, which is about $70 million in hand for a low budget horror movie. Damn, dude. Right?
Not bad.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the last movie. Like I said, I think they missed an opportunity to bring Ash in. But I have no other complaints. If you like Evil Dead, you would like Evil Dead Rise. Great looking movie. And we got another one coming, which of course they made money, so I get it. I just want to talk about it. It's all.
Nice.
Yeah. So but
I want to do one thing before we go into the old box office, Mr. Chester Busby.
Sure.
In the Discord chat, I have posted I have posted a tweet from Discussing Film, where Esquire has listed the best 25 the 25 best superhero
Oh
movies of
boy.
all time.
Mhm.
I want your opinion on this list. If you go in there and take a quick look see at it.
Okay.
You probably have to
Uh,
click on it and go on the old Twitter machine.
Okie dokie. Here we go. Uh, all right. Let's see what kind of shenanigans they're getting up to. All right. And I can just bring that up directly. Here we go. So, Esquire. What? Esquire? It's like
Esquire. Yeah, it's a
what?
magazine. Well,
It's
it's like a website now, but yeah, it was a magazine.
for what? For lawyers?
Just entertainment and stuff.
Okay. All right.
We're focusing on the wrong thing here, Chester.
All right. The Esquire has ranked the 25 best superhero movies of all time. All right, Thunderbolts or the New Avengers. No. Shazam. Um, the 1970 TV show, maybe.
No, the movie, the current movie, the recent movie.
Super has hardly anything to do with superheroes and much more of a cultural statement. Thor Ragnarok,
There
you can fuck right off.
you go.
Watchmen, okay. Superman 2, sure. Avengers Endgame, no. If you're what Esquire has ranked the 25 best superhero movies. Okay.
Best.
I just want to quantify
Best.
that.
Yeah.
GOTG volume, what is that?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
It just
volume
wouldn't
2.
fit.
Okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
Shin Kamen Rider 23. Dude,
The recent one, yeah.
Hellboy.
Would you consider Kamen Rider a superhero? I mean, I would.
Yeah, I
but
would,
it's also
yeah.
Japanese.
100%. Yeah, no, he's definitely a superhero. It's their response to it. Hellboy is not he's a comic book character, but is he a superhero?
Ah, see, Chester came across the same rub I did. A lot of these are comic book movies. They're not superhero movies.
Mm-hmm. Captain America Winter Soldier, absolutely. The Crow, same problem.
Best?
Not a Yeah, but it is a fun movie, but he's not a superhero though.
It's a better movie than Superman 2?
No, definitely not.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It was fun, but no. Logan, yeah, it was a good movie. The Batman, yeah. Into the Spider-Verse, no. It was fun though. Batman 89, I don't know about that. X2, Unbreakable. It's not. It's one of Shyamalan's better movies.
And I love Unbreakable. I don't think it's a superhero movie. I think it's a comic book movie. The main character just kind of happens to have superpowers.
Well, that whole trilogy is about superheroes, though.
The trilogy, yes, but the first one is not. The first one is totally a thriller. What's the word I'm looking for? Psychological thriller.
Yeah,
he just happens to have superpowers.
It is. Wonder Woman, you can fuck right off.
Number 7. Look at number 6.
Black Panther. Well, see, that's why I went up and looked at what is the quantifying point, because if it's cultural impact list, then sure,
maybe
Black Panther.
Yeah.
But if it's just best superhero movies, Black Panther wasn't a very good movie at all. The Incredibles, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
The original Avengers, maybe 25. The Dark Knight, it's only okay, fine. Spider-Man 2, I do love that movie, and of course the original Superman.
But notice what's missing, Chester. What's missing
Infinity
on this
War?
list? Well, Infinity War for one, that's outrageous. By far the best Avengers movie and the second or third best Marvel movie ever made. But Blade.
Yeah. Well, once again,
in my opinion, I would say. Well, I think Blade is. He's out there. He's out there killing these vampires. That's something we gotta have that. But and I think he's crossed over. I would say like your OG Blade, no, but they've crossed him over, in my opinion, to being a superhero.
And of course, the original Iron Man 2, which is a very important movie.
Yes, you don't have the original Iron Man. I would say those are the two most influential, besides Superman 78, of course, the two most influential movies, superhero movies ever made,
Yeah.
because they got the ball rolling in ways that nothing else did.
Yeah.
You don't have any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe without that first Blade movie being a success. You just don't. It doesn't happen. And you definitely don't without that first Iron Man movie being a success. So it's very interesting that Blade's not on this list. But the reason why I wanted you to look at this list is because this is the delusion we're at now. Anything that comes from a comic book for some reason is automatically the same. They become
Superhero, yeah.
synonymous.
They should have said comic book movies
But
instead of superheroes.
also,
Yeah.
one thing that I want you to note, Chester, if you had made this list in 2020 or 2019, where do you think Endgame would have sat? 1 or 2? Maybe
For
3?
me,
No. Just on this list, just in general.
it was
Almost
probably toward
certainly it
the
would have been a
top
top. It'd be
Yeah.
the top 3.
They would have
Notice
put
how
it that
far
way.
down it's fallen the farther away we get from that
Because
film.
it's not a good
Chester,
movie.
we're right.
We
It's
are
a
right.
dog shit film.
It is.
Film.
It
Bad.
is.
It's not good.
Yeah, there are some things that are quite glaring on this list, though.
Yes.
Shazam, the first half of the movie isn't bad at all. It's fun, and then it gets real dumb, right, and
It
bad.
does. The end gets done.
Watchmen is fine. The Superman stuff is fine. Guardians of the Galaxy, it's fun. I've never seen Shin Kamen Rider, so I don't know. Hellboy was great. Winter Soldier was great. Crow is okay.
Atrociously high. The Winter Soldier is atrociously high.
You don't think it should be higher?
It should be in the top 10.
I think so.
15.
Because it is a good movie. Logan, phenomenal movie. The Batman, really good. The only thing here I think is super mega egregious is maybe X2, the original Batman, Wonder Woman, and Black Panther. The rest of it's like, okay, fine.
But I just also like the fact that we're seeing, and you commented on this, when you look around, what's the word we want to look for? The clamor, if you will, the talk around Endgame has shifted dramatically. We were just correct, and people just didn't want to admit it. That's not a good movie. You can love it still. That's fine. You're allowed to love bad movies. I love plenty of them, but it's not a good movie. From beginning to end, it's just not a good movie.
No, I love Constantine.
Yeah. For instance, I think Constantine's actually pretty good, but I love it. There's plenty of bad movies I love for the wrong reasons usually, but I still love them. That's just not one of them. That movie insults my intelligence in a way that very few other movies ever have. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is bad.
For it.
Do you have an opinion on this, Grimlock?
Yeah, I think this list is bullshit. As the chat was, we'll see, because the chat has made some of the same points that I made. Where's TMNT? Because if you're going to say,
oh yeah, the
superhero
original was
movie,
really good. Yeah,
you're going to say superhero movies, but then you include Unbreakable and Hellboy.
You're right. Yeah,
and
Crow.
Okay, so you're kind of just throwing comic book movies in there, which also then, if that's the case, makes Blades not being on this list more egregious.
Yes, it's pretty bad.
Then,
especially Blade 2. Blade 2 is phenomenal.
As David pointed out, you're going to put Into the Spider-Verse when DC has been wiping their ass as far as animated movies with everybody else for like the last 25, 30 years.
That is true, sir. You are true.
Correct.
Especially you could say Mask of the Phantasm. Sub-Zero was excellent. Hell, you could even throw Batman Beyond Return of the Joker up there.
No,
as
you're
a fantastic movie.
They didn't put animated stuff though, but I was just using
and
the lingo.
All better than Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. I forgot about the Turtles, dude. That original movie was great. It really was.
Good.
Yeah.
And it holds up too. It holds up very well.
Yeah.
And the fucking glazing of fucking Black Panther. No, that shit should be at the bottom of the list. If
it shouldn't be on the list. It was a bad movie.
It's not a good movie. It's a star-studded movie. If you want to go that way,
well,
it's a star-studded movie.
The black people glommed onto it, so it was culturally important. That is true.
Yeah, a bunch of low IQ, low self-esteem having ass niggas
they
decided to jump on a fucking propagandized train.
They want them some Wakanda, and my suggestion to them is, and I'm sure you could find a lot of funding for this. Go to Africa, please, and build your Wakanda. Get at it.
Go do it. Get on it.
Get it.
Get it built.
Yeah.
Get it built up.
I mean, Africa could use a Wakanda, dude.
We should do.
They ain't gonna do that.
We don't have to do it right this minute, but we should do a top 10 of our own of superhero movies. Not of that we love. Well, I mean, obviously we're going to like these movies, but that we would say are definitely not just comic book movies. These are superhero movies, the best ones ever made.
Cool. Well, then let's do that. Everyone throw your stuff in the chat, and I'll do it next week.
Yeah, because that's there is a distinction, right? It's a very American thing. I think I made a point about this recently. It's a very American thing to equate superhero to comic book, whereas most comic books are not about superheroes in the world. They're just not.
No, they're not. The majority are not superhero at all. Yeah.
So it's very silly.
Because that's what I was saying. Because also that's what I was saying when Thundaro had brought up this list. If we're going to have superhero movies, comic book movies up here, where the fuck is Men in Black?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that that's the distinction is necessary. The Crow is a revenge undead movie. It doesn't belong in that list. Hellboy, he is a hero, fine, but it does. I think most of us would put it in a different category. But I guess that's less egregious. Super is an anti-hero movie. Let's see here. Unbreakable, I get your point. You have to look into the big picture to see the superhero aspect. Yeah, I don't know. But Wonder Woman is also very egregious. I mean, it was fine. That movie was a solid 5.5. It was watchable.
That third act is a joke. That last act is a joke in that movie. It's terrible.
And
but up till that point, it's pretty. If that movie had ended after the No Man Land sequence, that would have been one of the best superhero movies ever made. Right. But it didn't.
But they also screwed up a lot. We didn't get any Gal Gadot side boob.
There was not.
There was none of that.
I mean, she doesn't really have boobs.
That's fair. That is fair.
One of the main reasons.
That is a problem. But anyway, yeah, it's a dumb list. Anyway, let's.
Woman on that list at all. It's actually worse the more I've watched it over the years.
Which one?
Wonder Woman. It's not that good.
No, it's not very good. It's not.
It was good for of its time because we really didn't have a whole lot of good movies coming out of DC.
That's true. And a lot of that, like we were talking about Sydney Sweeney in the beginning, it's all matter of perspective. I mean, compared to what we've been getting for a while, she is attractive. But compare her to the 80s beauties that they were throwing in front of us. No.
Well, 15 years ago.
They was throwing a lot of narrow ass. I'm maybe because I'm the resident Negro here. They was throwing a lot of narrow ass, flat chested white women at us in the 80s.
Yeah, but
and because they had big hair, people thought they was hot.
Explain to me why black men are so obsessed with fat black ass women.
They just like them.
Explain this to me. What's up with the fatness and the gigantic asses? What is that?
Well, here's the ironic part. A lot of black men have been telling black women for the last 15 years we don't like BBLs, and they keep getting them.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's so weird looking, dude, and they stink. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, because they're not washing their ass.
Dude, give me a little narrow-ass girl to bounce up and down all day. I'll sit there and smoke a cigarette and relax and let her go at it. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm seriously.
She doesn't understand the glory of the wave.
Wait,
right. See, here's the thing about ass.
Rocking world go round.
They do.
Yes, exactly. But here's the thing about ass. See, titties are is a genetic crapshoot.
It is.
You get a woman with nice big titties. She was a lottery winner.
Yeah, she was.
You don't have to be born. You cannot be born with a great ass, but a gym membership and a little bit of dedication.
Oh well, no. An actual athletic ass, I'm there all day. That's what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. These fat ass girls. No Grimlock,
no,
big old booties.
No, not Lizzo.
No,
we ain't talking about Lizzo.
No.
And even Lizzo got the message.
No.
She did actually. Good on her. I'm happy for her.
Yeah. No,
She did.
I enjoy the athletic girls. But no, dude, I never understood that whole obsession. But thank God for the black man to suck them all up.
They seem to enjoy
We
it.
Yeah, that's not
appreciate you.
true. That's not
And
entirely
and the
true.
Well,
Mexican
hold
I
on.
man.
tell you that the redneck white trash will suck them
Yeah,
up.
there's a lot of redneck white boys who like them
Especially
too.
the skinny redneck white trash.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
All right.
Oh yeah,
I
trust
know
me.
plenty of skinny white dudes who
I've seen
they
them.
love surfing.
They
They
like
ain't
to
never been to the
They
beach.
like that wave, my brother. They like that wave.
Yeah,
ride the
whatever.
ocean.
Whatever.
Kaiju said, "Look, we only come through the water to crush cities. We don't
That's
surf."
that's right. No surfing. We
No
walk on the
surf for
bottom.
kaijus.
Um,
Also, I want to add back to the superhero list. X2 should not be it. Yeah,
no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
silliness.
there's not been one X-Men movie really that should be in the top 10.
None of
Yeah.
them. None of them are particularly good. It's
Not only the
just the
top 20.
Yeah, but
it's just the
I love
nostalgia of it
Guardians
all
of the
because
Galaxy. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but to say the second one's better than the first one is absurd.
yeah,
And the
you're
first
right.
one,
yeah,
technically, Guardians of the Galaxy shouldn't be on this list because it's more of a sci-fi comic
Yeah,
book movie
that's
than
true.
a superhero.
Yeah, I agree. Back to the fat ass. Grimlock. Now, one of
yeah.
the things I've always loved is how you're sitting in bed just after coitus, right? And the doors open and the
Mhm.
light from the hallways coming in and it's shining across her body and you have that nice transition from her side into the hip and into that nice roll of the hip. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
the curve,
I like that. I like
the
that.
roller coaster curve, I
Yeah,
like
it's
to call
nice.
it.
It's nice.
Yeah,
It's
that is
nice.
nice. I
Um,
have
uh,
that.
but if you throw a big old fat ass in there, all you got is fat ass. It just blocks the entire scenery.
Well, by all accounts, I'm a vampire, so I don't care that much about the sun in the morning.
All right, be like that.
But if I see that fat ass is up, I'm like, round two, bitch. I ain't hear no bell.
That is true. Morning after sex is always great. That is true.
It is. It's the
Yeah,
best.
it
Yeah,
It's
is. It is. It's
yeah.
a good way to wake up in the morning.
It is.
Usually makes your day.
it's how I woke up
Look,
this
if
morning,
everybody
gentlemen.
woke up
And
and had morning sex, we would actually have world peace because you'd be
we
having a
would.
peace.
We would. We would. And
Yeah.
especially great when the woman initiates it. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're married men having conversations.
And top 10 gigantic asses.
Right? Let's do a top 10 gigant. No, Booster. I say no. Um, let's see. Maple Cheek says Michael Douglas Falling Down is a great superhero movie. It's a good movie.
That's true. That's true. Pretty good. He's a man of the people, Chester.
Look
Man
at
of the
Booster.
people.
Why are you obsessed with gigantic asses? What a strange thing to ask. No, no. But anyway, let me go over here and take a look at the box office, and we'll get into that. So let's see here. Now, of course, Fantastic Four opened up, and let's see the weekend they had 109 million dollars. It's all right.
That movie's gonna do better than I think a lot of people thought it would.
Well,
Is that
Actually,
it
is
might
that
have legs.
around what Superman did, or
I'm going to look at it. I'll take a look.
I don't know if it'll
Um,
be better than.
I think it's
But
probably
I
higher.
know
Yeah.
a lot of younger people that I work with actually liked that movie
Which one?
and are recommending it. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, a lot of people are. They're saying it's good fun. But
Yeah.
we'll see. It might have legs because there's nothing coming. So this could have legs through August. And it might well do well. As of right now, they certainly haven't made their money back, especially seeing as they had so many reshoots, and it sounds like they reshot the entire third act.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
geez,
the
this
more
would
I've
be
heard about the
500
story
million
too,
dollar thing, dude.
it's
What?
it's kind of like the more I heard about the story and some of the things that go on. All right, I have to get out of the way. Pedro Pascal was a piece of shit, and I really did not want him to be Mr. Fantastic. But outside of that, a lot of younger people still like him for some reason, and a lot
because
of
he's
younger girls
serviceable.
for some
A lot of
reason. I guess I don't
because a
know.
lot of
I don't
men
get it.
these days are effeminate as fuck,
But the other
so they
thing
see them.
here is the message behind the movie is very odd, considering looking back some of the previous years we're talking about.
How so?
Like, like there's definitely I'm starting to believe in this cultural shift a little bit more because it has to do with a baby and saving a baby's life.
Yeah. Oh, I get your point. Yeah, they do hate families. That's true.
Typically, but this is a family movie from all in like
Yeah.
I heard about it.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. But unfortunately, this is I minimum 400 to 500 million dollars they need. So it needs to make $1
Oh
billion
yeah.
dollars. It needs to.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
need to make more.
mhm. So we'll see. They do have room. If it has legs, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. But that's not a great opening compared to what they need. Um, so Superman here, let's take a look. Superman is up to 250 million, $251 million. Which once again we know this movie needs 400 million minimum, so they're
Yeah,
not there yet. It probably will get there though. So
probably
yeah,
eventually.
but this is another movie. In general, people are like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard more good than bad,
yeah.
honestly.
Everyone's like, yeah, it's okay. It's not knocking people's socks off, but it's fine. And that's
No,
better than it's been. So you know. Anyway, let's see here. Just curious how bad a debacle. Oh, this actually made some money.
no, it's doing pretty good too,
Yeah.
decently.
They actually might get. They might actually break even on this one, which is weird because all the critical, no matter the standing of the critic, on this is a hot mess of a movie. Whereas
I'm
the
going
other
to tell you
ones,
right now, the critics don't matter.
that's
I'm
true.
going to say it again. All the young people at work that I work with, and I work with a lot of younger people, like this movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I mean, a good Fantastic Four movie is good, but compared to the original, and I don't mean the Corman movie. I mean the original one that came out with Chiklis in it as the thing. How is
Yeah,
it? Because I like those. People knock on them, but I like those two movies, especially the first one.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, I don't think a lot of people have seen originals. And I was talking about Jurassic Park. A lot of people like the Jurassic Park movie too, surprisingly.
Mm. Well, one thing we're noticing here, guys, is people are going back to the movie theaters.
There is a upsurge in that. Yeah,
That's
I've
great.
noticed this,
Yeah, that's great.
but
I think
not
the
as much as
Fantastic Four is going to run into the
so.
same problem Superman has run into. Internationally, the movie isn't doing well. So when
Yeah,
it gets to China, because we know how much Disney loves their China, and they think we're racist. And need I remind them the message boards when Black Panther came out?
Oh yeah, no, the China, and right now I don't know that you're going to get much out of China at all. That's probably why,
yeah.
and China could throw a good 100, 200 million on the gross, right?
Well,
But right now
well,
China
consider
isn't.
this:
Yeah,
how well Marvel Rivals has done internationally,
sure.
and they
Uh,
actually gave us a proper Fantastic Four in that. And those Chinese are going to play that, and they're going to see Pedro Pascal's dusty ass, and they're like, "That's not Reed Richard.
maybe.
Who the fuck is that spec?"
But you do have to keep in mind with China, there's a little bit more going on because
You're right.
China is in full collapse, dude. So there's that. People don't have
Well,
money and the Chinese are reverting back to the most frugal lifestyle you can imagine because things are so bad. And I'm talking about the people that have money. I'm not talking about the majority of
well,
the population that lives in absolute, poverty.
Squad.
Right.
Well, that makes things even worse for both Marvel and DC because
It does.
we know how much they had been depending on that market.
No, you are correct, sir.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I think we're seeing the end of the super age, superhero movie age. Like I don't think
Probably. Yeah.
they're gonna be very good much longer. Like
There are a lot of little movies that have come out that are doing nothing. I
right,
mean, nothing.
Hmm.
There this weekend had a whole bunch of movies, which is interesting. But they are doing absolutely nothing.
yeah, we'll
Um,
go over the movies and tell me about them because I can tell you I don't know hardly any of these films. I
right.
know a few.
So, oh, hi. Iris and Isaac's first romantic weekend getaway goes awry in a most unexpected way. This is from Sony. It's a comedy. Okay. They opened up in 866 theaters, which isn't a full release, but it's not bad. It made $1 million. So no one went to see
Hmm.
that. And that's a Sony
Who's
film.
that?
And let's see here. The Home. This made $500,000 in pocket. This is from Lionsgate, so that's way below average for Lionsgate. Though they tend to be to pull anywhere between 10 and $50 million on a film. So this is way under. It opened in 1,000 theaters, so a little low. Follows Max, who realizes that the residents and caretakers in the retirement home he started working at hide sinister secrets. So a horror thriller, which Lionsgate makes a lot of. But that's pretty low for a Lionsgate film, though, dude. Because keep in mind,
Right.
Lionsgate do make actual movies, real ones. So there's that. We got the House on Eden. This is from IFC. Okay, it's a lower budget company. It only made 600 theaters, 150,000. Ooh, that can't even pay catering, dude. Um, wow. Let's see.
I
It
would
says
never understand why they put out horror movies in the middle of fucking summer.
That's a
yeah,
terrible time.
horror movies are always cheap and easy to do. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but I'm saying, that there's usually just one time a year where people are really like gonna go out of their way to look for horror movies, even
Sure.
like a smaller horror,
Sure.
like
The
they'll take a
normie.
chance on
No,
something
you're right.
they haven't heard of,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well,
that's October. Why would you in the middle of fucking summer where everybody's expecting like action blockbusters
yeah.
like the Jurassic World and shit like that?
Well, a lot of these
Yeah,
movies, what you'll see
Like,
happen is around September, October, they will show up on the streaming services. And that's probably where
yeah,
they're making their money. Yeah. Um,
that's a good point.
this is a haunted
hopefully.
house movie here. So, okay. Let me go check in on Megan 2. Talk about debacle, dude. Whew, that is insane, dude. Keep in mind, the original movie made hundreds of millions of dollars. What was it, 400 some odd $1 million, something like that.
Man,
Um,
yeah,
Yep.
what a
it was
debacle.
fucking. I
It
mean,
is.
they should have known that. Though. Like I don't
Yeah, no,
know
they
what
did
they
it to themselves. Yeah, it's their fault. Shoshana, let's see here. This is Greenwich Entertainment, which is a British company. It's really low budget, only open in Britain, probably. No, I guess it
probably.
opened here as well, a little bit, but
Mhm.
mostly in Britain. And it says, and this is an action drama, history, romance thriller. Wow. All right. In this edge of your
Wow.
seat thriller, a British police officer and a Jewish woman fall in love amidst the political turmoil of 1930s Tel Aviv. Well, um, 1930s Tel Aviv, when it's under British control and the British are allowing the Arabs to kill whatever they want to kill? You mean that era?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Alrighty. Do keep in mind it is the British fault that they even know the word Palestine. By the way, let's see here. This is from Oscilloscope, low budget company, opened in only 3 theaters, but boy did it do poorly. Only 18,000 in 3 theaters. I mean, come on, dude. Curious. This is a drama. A curious student embarks on a journey of. Okay, he's gay. All right, fine.
Yeah.
That people.
Curious.
This a comedy from Musicbach Films. I don't know that company. They made nothing at all. That this doesn't even pay for hotel stays. When AJ loses his favorite dog park, oh no, he must fight, fish, scrap, scrape, and sap to get sap. You mean as in to strike people in the head with heavy objects to get it back. Okay, it's a skater dude movie. Maybe Tim Cook's in it. Not Tim Cook. Tim Pool.
Tim Pool.
Yeah, he's the skater dude. People love to pick on and make fun of Tim Pool, but fair enough. But where he got his start, though, he was the guy in the trenches out there all over the world showing up and filming shit.
It is true.
I mean, Anyway, let's see here. Booster says, can't see the appeal of horror slop. Well, I kind of like it. He says they're trying very hard to make Megan a gay icon. Who? Mean Merkel?
No, I think
No,
he was the
the
robot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is the robot
Because
gay?
in the second one it is.
The second one, yeah.
That's why it failed.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. No, I thought it failed
Yeah,
because
that's
the first
why
one
it
was a horror
failed.
movie, the second one was action.
Because they decided they're gonna take Twitter as real life and think, oh wow, this is a really big gay movie. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And alienate 95% of your audience to get 5%. Which I
Yeah.
don't know who the fuck
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck in Hollywood keeps telling them this shit. But this is simple mathematics. This isn't
It
even
is.
a prejudice thing.
Well,
You're gonna piss off 95% of your audience to get a 5% audience and think you're gonna make money that way?
yeah, but
Like,
it also depends on how you do it, though, Grimlock. Let me ask you guys a question. What is your favorite gay
the
movie?
gay population is not big enough. I don't have one. That's the point.
Are you sure? No, seriously. Think about it. Are you sure there isn't a gay movie that you didn't enjoy?
I'll put it this way: if there was a movie that was gay that I thought was a decent movie, it falls into that category. You watch it once and you never watch it again.
That is true, but
Like,
I mean, there are a couple I
you know,
really
like
enjoyed.
a J.J. Abrams movie. Like, some of his movies are decent, but I'd never watch them again.
No, that's true. I mean, Hedwig and the Angry Inch I watched once and I did enjoy it, and it's a 100% gay movie. There are
But
some
notice
gay
what you
movies.
just said. Once.
I did. That's
Once.
true.
You're
Victor
not.
Victoria
You're
I
not.
watched
You're not.
once.
You're not taking your week. Like, if you get a weekend off with the wife, you're not sitting there and going, "Hey,
No.
babe, let's watch Hedwig and the Angry
No,
Inch."
because
Watch
I'm not a
this
gay
gay
dude.
movie.
Right. But I
Like-
can acknowledge, oh, that was a pretty good movie, though. Is my
Yeah.
point.
Like, yeah, it's a good movie, but you know, a movie you really enjoy. It doesn't matter what situation. You could have one of your kidneys. I could have one of my kidneys removed if they had Smokey and the Bandit playing while they're operating. I'm not going to pay
Fair.
attention to what's going on.
Fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. But you know what movie I've seen the most in my life? Because I usually don't watch movies once anyway. But there are a couple of movies I've watched several times. Now, Star Wars doesn't count because I was just showing that to my kids. Because I have watched that 2 or maybe 3 times. But do you know what movie I've watched the most in my life?
What?
Constantine.
Nice.
Really?
I just seem to watch it
It's
once
an
a
interesting
year.
pick.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just love it. Because I know it's
I
not a good
follow-
movie, but I love it.
I know that The Matrix is way up there for me. The very
Sure.
first one.
Some people like Matrix.
Nightmare
yeah,
on Elm Street too.
Yeah, no, but I've only seen those movies once.
But
Um,
in the same sense, the other movie I would say that's way up there for me
mhm.
also would be A Fistful of Dollars. I think I've
Oh,
watched that
yep,
over 20 times.
yep. Those are good. I haven't seen it. I've only seen it once, but they are good. I've seen Pale Rider, maybe nearly as many times as Constantine.
I've probably seen Pale Rider about 10 times or so.
It
I
is
don't know.
such a good movie. It's basically Clint wanted to remake High Plains Drifter better,
Yeah.
is what he did. What about you, Thundero? What's your most viewed film?
That's a very tough question to answer because for a very long time in my life, that's all I did was watch movies.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's probably I want to say it's something like Gladiator, but it's probably not. It's probably The Waterboy, Adam Sandler movie. And the only reason why
Oh, I've
is
seen that a
because
lot too.
for one whole summer, every day, sometimes multiple times a day, I watched that movie. And the reason I did that is because I'd be doing other things while I was watching it. Uh so that's probably the answer, but I honestly don't know. I genuinely don't know. I've watched so many movies. There was a time, and that's basically all I did was watch movies because I really had planned to become
Same.
a director and stuff. I
I,
just
I,
loved it. I
but
loved
I was a
movies.
big movie fanatic when I was younger too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sure. I think a lot of us watch movies. That's
I
interesting.
mean, I've probably seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy like at least 15
I've seen
times.
it twice. I saw the original in the movie theater, and then I bought the extended 4-hour version. I watched that. Now, Grimlock, I'm going to guess your most repeat watched movie is Norbert,
Uh-oh.
No,
because it's got Eddie Murphy, who's a god saint,
you know
and it's got a
that
very
is an
fat lady.
underrated
It is an underrated
that is an
film.
underrated freaking
It is a
Eddie
good
Murphy
movie,
movie, in
but
my opinion.
Yeah.
it's got that giant fat lady in it, though. She's giant
But
fat.
number one would probably be between it's either Smokey and the Bandit
Mm,
or because I know I watched it so much when I was younger, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh,
yeah,
fair,
that's up there.
fair,
That
interesting.
was my shit when I was a kid.
Yeah. Uh, Booster says he's probably seen Hot Fuzz 20 times. Interesting.
It's
Uh,
also a good movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
Pulp
I've seen
Fiction for
that quite a
Alan.
few times too.
Yeah,
But probably not.
yeah. Well, anyway, guys, that's what I got for you. Um, and I'm already pushing my time, so I definitely need to go. But thank you all for coming in. It was a lot of fun. Of course, come back in a couple days. We are back on Dolman Wood and enjoying
Mm.
that. Of course, we have many of the players right here with you. But that's fun. We'll have GOP back this week too. But thank you very much. Let's see here. Adrian, do you have something you'd like to say to the people?
Yeah,
No, you just fuck off,
That's
people.
it. That's it. Fuck
yeah,
you.
You know,
I guess.
yeah,
How about
No,
that?
I don't
go.
really have anything to say.
No, that's
I don't
fine.
have words of wisdom like Pandora
That's
typically does.
true. That's true. But you could just tell them go watch Norbert.
Don't
Go watch
watch.
Bowfinger because I think that's an underrated film as well.
That
Bowfinger,
is
yeah,
Nobody needs
awesome.
to.
that is
Nobody
true.
needs
Well,
to
Eddie,
watch that.
Eddie is awesome. Let's be fair. Grimlock, what you got to say?
It's been a rough week for the childhood. Holy shit.
Been a bad
That's
one.
what I
Yeah,
get.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I
This month
agree.
has
Oh,
been bad. This year, we've lost a lot of celebrities,
yeah,
dude.
dude. Peter David,
Doesn't seem to
Jim
be stopping
Shooter,
either.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ozzy, Malcolm.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, just this whole
Pokemon fans
week.
are very sad right
And
now, though.
yeah,
Chuck Mangione,
yeah. Chuck
like,
Mangione. Yeah,
we
yeah,
Mhm.
lost a lot this week.
yeah. Now, the thing is with Chuck,
Damn.
though, a lot of people have heard Chuck and not known it because he is the master of elevator music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, soft, smooth jazz.
Being from New York, he was one of those. If you was growing up in New York in the '70s and
Yep,
'80s, he's one of those guys
sure,
where, like, if you didn't, even if you didn't like him, if you didn't know who he was, like,
that's true.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, because you and I are New York people. I was kind of surprised last week at the art show because no one knew who he was, and I was like, "Huh?" I mean,
Oh,
I
see,
grew up with
I
Chuck, man.
actually remembered him from the uh, The King of the Hill episode.
Yeah, no, people had said that. People said that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I actually like, unlike a lot of people, when I discovered new musicians that I kind of take interest in, I'm eclectic when it comes to music. I go look them up and then listen to some of their stuff. And so I've actually listened to like
Yeah.
some of his
Well, he
music.
is an excellent musician. I actually saw him from backstage play at a JVC before. Never spoke to him, but he is amazing. He's a really good player. But it is very soft. He's very soft, smooth jazz is his thing. So it's not for everybody.
So
Good
yeah,
background.
because I turned on an old classic Land of Make Believe, but the Hollywood Bowl version with the
Yeah.
full orchestra.
I see. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys.
Yeah, you might remember that version, CD 101.9. That was the one they used to play. That was the only one I knew.
Right. No. I remember the Hollywood Bowl. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I guess every place you come from in America, you got to have your cultural stuff. It is what it is. America. But anyway, thank you all very much, and we'll see you next week, of course. But Thundero, dude, take us out of here, man.
I got one. It's not really a little saying. It's a line that's going to be in my stuff here. Hang on, let me get back to it because I just decided out of nowhere I was going to do this. Why does everyone hate him? He walked into hell and survived, and that makes them hate them. He came back alone.
The Undertaker.
Dead man.
Dead man. Namaste. Later, everybody.